Hello and welcome to Pearsdale Reserve here for the Jack Peacock Cup. Daz alongside you, and alongside me is Neil Williams, the great man himself. Neilo, how are you?
Yeah, it's good to get back to this side of the peninsula.
This
We
side
haven't
of
really,
town, yeah.
we haven't really seen much of it. We hope that looming cloud is brief.
Now, I'm not enjoying the overhead, I'll be honest with you, but the first port of call, Neilo, is the good luck streak is over, unfortunately. We've caught up, and my boys went down to Vossie's Bulls today, so that was disheartening. But we're
losing to the Bulls. That's the problem.
Not good enough. But we're here for Pearsdale v Balnarring here at Pearsdale Reserve. We hope you can join us throughout the afternoon, the night. Hopefully the rain stays away, and I'll tell you what, Neilo, it stayed away at the MCG as the Aussies pole on the runs. None for 210 after 33 overs. Travis Head has already brought up his ton, the South Australian left-hander. So the Poms, they might have won the World Cup, but always good to beat them. Neilo, not that game's over, but it's always good to get the wood on the Poms.
Yeah, it's going to be a big score too, isn't it? It's going to be 400 plus.
Unless we go, if these two bat together, they might be able to get there, Neilo. But I definitely think 350 needs to be the minimum now. So, which will be fantastic. And
tragic to see Qatar miss out, breaking a world record.
Yeah,
first
92.
time a home team has lost that first game.
There's actually a few things that have come out of that, Neilo. So,
of
course, we won't talk about the FIFA controversies, but did you hear about the Ecuadorian captain who also scored both their goals? He had
another one taken off him as well.
He did, but he was carried away by officials because the police were hunting him for about 20,000 Australian dollars in child support money.
Okay.
So that's how we kickstart the T20 here as the first ball's bowled and is squared up, but a shout is going to be turned down by the umpire, Neilo. So we're none for one on the appeals already.
Yep,
as the great man Peter Susovic is just pointing at clouds now, so that's where we're at RPPFM. This match of the night, you could say, brought to you by Bendigo Bank, with a special thanks to recent Sports Business Network partner Telstra, and of course the Mornington News Group as well. We're going to be here all the way through, and like we said, hopefully the rain stays away as we see the second delivery of this T20. That's a bit shorter and just a flick outside the off stump, Neilo. That's not getting it done. Through to the keeper, no run. Not much happening after a couple of deliveries, Neilo, which is rare for T20 cricket.
Yeah, normally some action, isn't there? I think it's Jaxus at the other end, and I certainly know that Jackson Hanna is at the non-strikers end as well. So there's some both the sides seem to have a mixture of first and seconds players.
They do, as that one's left outside the off stump for no run, but it's so wide actually, it's going to be called a wide, so that's going to be the first run on the board. None for one after two legal deliveries.
And Darcy Warmbrun is facing up, picked up a few wickets on Saturday and wrapped up the Bonio tails. It ended up, he got four for and gave them the win in what was looking pretty tight up to that point.
Absolutely, as we hopefully see the third legal delivery. It's pitched up and that's been planted straight to the man
at
mid-on. That is going to be out. So 1 for 1 off three legal deliveries. Neilo, we went from 2 balls of nothing to 2 balls of everything.
Yes, indeed. And he was keen to have a real crack at that, but he only got it in the bottom part of the bat, didn't get much power to it. The fieldsman
bat turned in his hands too, Neilo. That's
not a good sign.
Suicide mission. The problem was the ball was in the slot. It was the right shot. The execution maybe not as perfect as it could have been. So the first wicket to fall here for Balnarring. They're 1 for 1 after 3 legal deliveries.
Clayton Gay is the new batsman in. Plays mainly in the seconds.
Big Clayton, so a good chance to see him throughout the afternoon. There you go. It's also good with the with the oval ball, the round ball. That's how well I'm going. Of course, the World Cup begun with.
Hastings this in 2023 from the SANFL.
Oh, there you go. Back to Hastings, as Sus mentioned, from the SANFL. I actually did a bit of research on him, actually, now that I recognise the name.
Yeah.
Sus, forward pocket he was for the SANFL. Probably,
okay.
I think the Hastings might need him maybe a bit further up the ball this year. But
and Balnarring need him to be good with a bat.
They do,
just at the moment.
Yeah, no pressure, son, as he comes in. But they're just going to have to settle themselves into this, Neilo. It's all well and good going the slog in T20 cricket. If you're all out for about 80, it's not going to lead you down a good path at all. The overhead conditions still not serving us well, although there is some blue sky behind us. The problem is it's behind us, which is not what we want in the slightest. Hope you've all out there enjoyed your Tuesday.
Both these teams come into the game with a win and a loss, and a loss here basically means they can't make the final, won't be on top.
Elimination final. I like it, Neil.
Yeah,
we
so
can roll with that throughout the day.
It's a crunch game for them.
Absolutely.
They keep winning. They're still in the mix for the finals with another round to go.
As we see the fourth delivery just passed through to the keeper. And of course we welcome, I should say, the Mornington Peninsula News Group as well, like we said off the top. Great to have their company, as that one's left alone outside the off stump as well, and it feels like it's gone for about 6 overs, this one, Nilo, but we've still got a delivery left, I should say. But a wide and a wicket back-to-back will do that.
So
we're still 1 for 1 at the moment, that being Balnarring, of course. I've got Pearsdale written down here, I promise you it's Balnarring.
Balnarring are batting there, the red team.
They sure are, Nilo.
The Saints.
Well, they're going to need to go marching in at this point as we see the final delivery of the first over left outside the off-stump. That had some zip to it off the pitch too.
I reckon that was 3 or 4 metres quicker, that one.
Well, I think it was, but that's going to end the opening over. It had a little bit of everything. 3 leaves, a wide, a wicket. We've had it all 1 for 1 after 1. And we're just getting some graphics on the scoreboard. Not really matching what we're after, but... yeah, it's not none for 7, but...
they're getting closer though, but...
They are, Neilo. There we go.
Now we're right. So the second over now, and it's Warmbrun missing out. So Hannah gets to face. Batsman swap ends to speed up procedures here, of course.
I do like this 5-bit. We've got the out graphic there. We're just making sure it's all in order. So there we go. Scoreboard up to date, which we love. The graphics here, that's a crisp looking scoreboard too for the aforementioned back oval, as it was described to me on the way here from Frankston South. Oh, what a day I had, Nilo, let me tell you. As we see the start of the second over, left arm, that's down the leg side. That is going to be a wide. And the wicketkeeper there just testing out his ACL, PCL, MCL and Achilles there, but they all look fine, which is fantastic. The scoreboard will go to 1 for 2, off and over.
Yeah. Umpire Adrian Gallagher right on that one.
I'd be worried if he missed that one, Neil. I'm not going to lie to you.
It was a foot outside leg moving away down the leg side.
Isn't it? And that one's just come off, well, it looked like the ribs almost.
Yeah, just about.
And they're going to come back for 2. There was a little slip at the striker's end, but he's going to be absolutely fine.
There, I reckon.
Yeah,
two leg buys.
I love it when it's called leg buys, even though it hasn't come off the leg, Nilo, but don't get me.
Leg buy off the rib.
Yeah, rib buy, but although rib eye, that would go down a treat right about now too.
We'll go back to the cooking show we had going on Saturday for a while there in the rain.
I have to admit, I am that snobby household that makes their own flavoured butters, Nilo. That is my house, of course. That one's short and weaving out of the way. That's actually beautifully bowled, and it's gone down as a dot ball. So it should. That's watching it past your nose. That's keeping your eye on the ball, Nilo. Getting it out of the way, but we're at 1 for 4 at the moment.
Yep.
8 legal deliveries in, and David Warner is into the 90s, as I just had a quick look, for the 26th time in his one-day career. Sorry, 16th, I should say, not the 26th, as I'm being told. That one spat up at the batsman as well. That's just been turned away.
Off the shoulder.
And I think the fieldsman there thought the umpire at square leg was a fielder, so they took a little bit to get off the mark there, but they're all good now. 1 for 5 the score. Not sure if Duckworth Lewis is going to get a mention, Nilo, in the run home. We'll see how it goes.
They don't use it here just as well, because
I'd have to bring my graphing calculator or something, Nilo, to figure that out. My goodness.
Yeah, or an abacus.
As we see the third ball of the second over with the slinging left arm action, that's wide outside the off stump. That's going to go down as a dot ball as well. The batsman looking like he wanted to play a cut shot, but considering there are still 2 slips or a slip and a gully in play, probably the right move there, as we see the somewhat new traditional, instead of throwing the ball back, bowling the ball back, Nilo, just to keep the fieldsman engaged for some reason.
We're due for a run off the bat, I reckon.
Yeah, soon. I think so. We still haven't had it yet, as we see that sling action again, and that's probably why. Because the big swing didn't get there. There was an appeal. Maybe it flicked the back thigh pad. Yeah. Suss has given me a look of, I think maybe Adrian, who rocked up maybe a little bit later than he should have.
I reckon he
Might have put the finger up there, but he hasn't.
From my perspective, I reckon it might have just bounced outside leg. Not saying wouldn't have hit him, but might have pitched outside leg. That one certainly
that one's
did.
slower. That's going to come off the bat. There is no one down here at all. The wicketkeeper's just pointed to the man at gully and gone, "That's yours, mate," and it's not going to get there. No, it hasn't got there.
Really?
I can promise you, it's not over that cone.
Okay.
So they've come back for 3. That's extraordinary the way that's held up there. That ball.
It's
We've got some runs off the bat, Nilo, and even it had drama.
Yeah, it's a slow 7 out there on the track too, if people are wondering.
I imagine it would be. So Travis Head, 129 off 118. Ooh. David Warner, 96 off 94. This is an absolute pasting. But as we always say, Nilo, you don't know how good the wicket is until both teams bowl on it. Correct. So I'm not going to get too excited about that, but fingers crossed Davey can get the ton as well. And I've just seen on Twitter, Nilo, so don't attack me if it's wrong. But if David Warner did go out this delivery, Travis Head and David Warner as a pair would be averaging 93 in one day international cricket. I think it might be the pair we take to India for the World Cup.
Oh, they wouldn't have batted together very often, you know.
No, I remember maybe
we keep rotating everybody.
Yeah, 2016, 17, I reckon it was. They batted together against Pakistan. Travis Head made a fantastic.
He did.
I think it was about 90 odd in Adelaide, believe it or not. That's a big swing as well, but the bounce of the ball a little bit unpredictable, might be a bit skittish. Just hurrying the batsman there, but that'll end. No, it won't. The scoreboard says so, but it hasn't.
That's the start of the third over. This is the opening bowler having a second crack at him. And there's been a bit of bounce in this pitch.
It has, yeah. It's definitely hurried the batsman. Whatever you think a pass score is, I think we might have to subtract 20 off it. If you're thinking maybe 150, I reckon you're going to be looking at 130, 120, something to bowl at. That's a bit of a dance. Outside leg stump for the batsman's leg, but it passed over off stump for no run. 1 for 8 still the score. And
what's going to be interesting is when this cloud, the current cloud, goes, whether it actually lightens up. Normally you get better light batting first, but you wouldn't call this great light.
No, you wouldn't, and
so
it's just starting to spit as well. So if the rain could nick off, that would be great. That's full outside the off stump. And that's probably in the slot to guide through the offside. Not taken on this occasion. 1 for 8 still to score. Now, Suss did tell us, Nilo, with the confidence of a man I've never seen before, this will only be here for 5 minutes. So the countdown is on. Hope you stay with us throughout. Fingers crossed we can get a completed game of cricket. The rain just heavying up here. Nilo's trying to get under cover. That's a big swing from the batsman, but with no timing on it at all. They'll come through for a single. 1 for 9 is the score. And I get the feeling we're only a delivery or two away from the batsman jumping off. If we're in England, Nilo, they'd already be sitting. They'd be in the pavilion.
Yeah, drinking a
couple of them would be out. No, I think 4X would be coming. Well, Foster's probably, if we're talking about England. They'd already be on them. No. As we see, a nice defensive shot. The first defensive shot I think we've seen, Nilo.
Well, it has. They've played a couple which have bounced over the top, and a couple of swing and misses, a couple off the body.
And the positive for the skidding off the pitch is it's going to have to be a Yorker length for it to hit the stump. So there's going to be a lot more balls in the slot once you can pick up the bounce. So that rain's starting to come in a bit more sideways than it was. As we see the next delivery pitched up again, played, bunted almost to the man at cover. And that will end the over. And I think it might, well, they're staying out there, which is surprising.
I think they'll try to get as much playing as they can.
I'm not sure they're going to get a lot more, Nilo.
Yeah, I'm a bit with you on that one.
I'm being honest. If I'm also being honest, we haven't got a great deal of cover where we are at the moment. But let's be honest.
At least where it's coming from, it is looking a little lighter over there. So
good point.
There's some better weather coming.
The master producer himself, Peter Sasovich, currently doesn't have sleeves on at the moment, so he's up a certain creek with no paddle at the moment. As we see a warm-up delivery. Outstanding it was. Ball of the day, that, Nilo. That was cannoning in the middle and off, taking both stumps with it. Extraordinary. Well, we're 1 for 9 after 3 overs. Davey Warner's moved on to 97. A nation holds its breath, as they say, Nilo. But we've got a drinks break. Oh, I'm not sure the psychology of Big Davey there with the drink as we get a single off the first delivery of the fourth.
They dropped that mid-on position where the first wicket fell, dropped him deeper. Not quite sure what the thinking was because the batsman haven't really got their eye in yet.
They haven't got one over him yet,
no.
So I'm with you.
They've moved him in now, but so they must feel that one batsman's hitting the ball better than the other, but I haven't detected that yet myself, left alone.
Yeah, and it was slower as well, and it might have been in the slot, but they do have a man at deep mid-wicket as well if they do go the cross-bat shot, so I don't mind this field. I'm still not of the belief, unless you're in the death overs, Nilo, but one of mid-on and mid-wicket has to be up. I think you've just got to tempt the batsman to go across the line and create a chance. They've got a very deep short third man there, or a deep slip if you like. There's the cross-bat shot we were looking for, but it's just genuinely difficult at the moment to get bat on ball. As Pearsdale pick themselves up another offside fielder. So we see the next delivery. What are we going to see? A bit of a swat outside off stump. No run there. So batting more and more difficult for the batsman at the moment. And what you can't afford to do, Nilo, as a batsman here is wish you could go off. You still got to be concentrated.
Yeah.
Making sure you're trying to pick the gap. Bat on ball at the moment needs to be the goal for Balnarring here.
Keepers up, and there's not really any semblance of footwork yet, and
no,
not getting bat on ball at all.
No.
Called a wide, that one.
That one, so that'll go to 1 for 11.
But the rain has stopped, Daz.
It has.
Yep.
I'm feeling dry. Don't take that the wrong way. Let me
sunscreen?
Sunscreen? No, Nilo, no.
No, me either.
The only part of my body that actually tans are my arms.
Okay.
Everything else is just white, red, peeling white. It's beautiful as we see the next delivery. And the brightness is coming in, Nilo. The sun's going to be poking through.
It will.
And Suss is walking around at the moment with a swagger of a man that's predicted the weather beautifully.
Oh, he had it nailed, didn't he? Had it nailed.
As we see Gay on strike, that's wide outside the off stump. Still struggling to get the bat on ball at the moment. So right now you'd love to be chasing at the moment because it looks like a lot of the elements are going to be taken away from you. Travis Head just quietly at the moment, 136 off 122 not out. No Australian has scored an ODI double ton. So it might be something for Head to look at there. There's still plenty of time left. I believe the highest score in one-day cricket by an Australian might be Ricky Ponting and Mark Waugh. I think might have that record tied, Nilo. I could be wrong. Happy to be corrected on that front.
I'll go with you on that, Daz.
But I think Ponting
I can't imagine. I can't think of anything that's different to that. So
Ponting 169, I think he had.
Okay.
So I might do a bit of a Google search in a tick. Why not? But I'll say that, and Travis Head will go out. So it won't matter a lot, but.
Again, short. That one's gone past the slips and dropped short of the. Well, he's sort of a third man position there, and so well placed, I guess you'd say, from the shorter delivery. But there's hardly been a ball that you'd say was on a good length or a full length. There's been a lot of short stuff, and the batsmen have really had trouble getting bat on ball so far.
You're spot on, Nilo. I've just done a Google search and I'm maybe a bit behind on my one-day records as we see this one wide. That should be called a wide. It's not on this occasion by the umpire Adrian Gallagher. So Shane Watson, 185 not out off 96 v Bangladesh in the 2011 World Cup, the highest by an Australian. David Warner actually posts the two highest scores by an Australian batsman. That was dismissed at the time. So Matty Hayden, 181, Warner, 179 and 178. Respectively, and then Mark Warner again 173. So Travis Head still got 50 runs there to claim the record, and that's one skidded off the pitch beautifully. This is good bowling by Pearsdale, by the way. Probably haven't given them the credit they deserve, but Gay is on 7, Big Darcy's on 1.
I've got a score, Flinders 3 for 60. They're in the 10th over in their game against Baxter, and it's not the usual names. Young Jackfield made 33. Henderson 26 not out. and I actually don't see the. Sammy Gove's got his name in the book, but he's nowhere near batting yet.
No, okay. Well, saving him for later as another swing outside the off stump. There's just not a lot of willow on leather at the moment.
And Bunyo were 2 for 18 off 5 in their game against Rye.
Yeah, perhaps not the start.
Not the ideal start.
No, not at all. This, of course, being your Bendigo Bank match of the day, thanks to Telstra and the Mornington Peninsula News Group, as well as we see another big swat outside the off stump. That one is going to be called a wide. I've got the direct line to Adrian. I really don't, but I'm acting like I do because he might have missed one earlier, but he's got that one spot on. And got some news here for you, Nilo. David Warner has picked up his 100.
Oh.
So 97 deliveries, strike rate of 104. Australian none for 255 off 37 overs. It's an extraordinary bit of batting that's going on at the moment. And that one has squared up a batsman there.
With a start like that, you'd expect Australia to add another 80 on from there, you'd think.
Yeah, 14 more overs. Of course, a runner ball would get them 84, Nilo. So you're probably looking at 120 if you're being honest.
Yep. But it's amazing the difference that a wicket could make, so that's going to be an important part of it.
8 and over would be 112. That's 370. Good luck chasing that, England, although they can do it. And that one's been edged away in between.
Flying through.
Yeah, in between keeper and first slip.
That one's
no chance of
race
catching.
For 4.
Yeah, no one's catching that. That's gone to the boundary. The
Not
first boundary of this T20.
Yeah.
And it's at the end of the 5th over.
We almost got one before, but it just pulled up. That one just raced to the boundary.
Yeah, it just didn't look like stopping, did it? So that'll finish up the 5th over, 1 for 17. Gay is on 7. Big Das, he's on 5. Nice shot, finally getting some willow on 1. But if you're going to go hard, Nilo, throw the kitchen sink at it because they didn't look a chance of catching it.
No, it was way out of reach of anybody. Enough bat, and of course the ball's been flying off the pitch a bit today. It's a bit lively out there.
Definitely skittish. And we're going to go to a 30-second ad and we'll be back right after this.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks. But there's another big bank snapping at their heels. It's been around for over 160 years, has 1.9 million customers nationwide who bank in branch, online or with their mobile app, and is regularly voted one of Australia's most trusted brands.
Back here, that's another big swing outside the off stump, and they're going to get through here for a bye, I think. Unless it's come off. No, it's definitely a bye. It's 1 for 18. The score, we've had a change of ends, Nilo. I like the T20 format here. We did have a bit of a late start, but they're getting through the overs nicely.
Yeah, it's not always easy for everyone to be ready for a 5 o'clock start, and I think both sides are a little bit the same, so it did start a few minutes later than expected.
We see the second ball, the 6th over. That's wide outside the off stump again. There's just been no real authority with any kind of horizontal bat shots so far.
And not even any contact. Sometimes you get a bit of contact, you can create something.
Agreed. If you do have that man at third man covered, then I don't mind the line. If it's what's working for you, go with it. So we see this one pitched up a little bit more, and again, no contact on a horizontal bat shot. Another cut shot, this one a bit fuller. But if they're going down as dot balls, Nilo, then nuggets of gold. 1 for 18 off 5.5.
It's very tidy.
So they're dropping mid-off back a touch, which suggests to me this one's going to be pitched up outside the line of off stump. That's what I'm feeling. It is. And no contact again. 1 for 18. This is terrific bowling. Travis Head working his way to 148 at the moment. Ooh. Extraordinary. So he's only got 38 to go to overtake Shane Watson v Bangladesh in the 2011 World Cup. As we see this one probably tighter to the body than to play that shot. No run again. This has been a fantastic over. The line's been great, and the skidding off the pitch is making it impossible to score, Nilo.
Yep. Now, Daz, you're going to be up 6 o'clock to watch the soccer, the Australian v France?
No, I'm not sure I will be, Neil,
no,
unfortunately. I think they're going to do things to us that'll be unspeakable, as this one's pitched up and just flicked into the onside. That's a good shot. That's a positive shot. They want to come back for 2. A little bit of hesitation. Is there going to be a run out? There is not.
Enough, but well backed up. by Swainston.
And,
Hurt his finger with that, the skipper, but he did stop some overthrows.
I do like the fact, Nilo, that in an overcast day, my man Roberts has got the sunnies on, which is a brave call. Not only that, the 2 Savage sunnies too. A Western Australian accessory brand, not a sponsor of RPP. I'd love them to be. I've got a couple of their sunnies. They're beautiful. Of course, this match of the night coming to you courtesy of Bendigo Bank, with a big thanks to new business network partner Telstra. And of course, we say g'day to the Mornington Peninsula News Group, covering all things Peninsula there. Getting another little bit of a hold up, Nilo, but after 6, 1 for 20. And you feel these two, they've just got to pick up some more singles. Nilo loves his singles in T20 cricket. I'll tell you what, the men on the offside, they've come back here, Nilo. If you take a look at cover and point
don't know
here,
what they're expecting. They must know something about the bowler that we don't.
Definitely, if this isn't short and outside off stump, then I am the epitome of confused. That's what it is, and the big swing.
They just still haven't got any contact. I mean, you're trying to get the singles, you need to get bat on ball to start with, and there just has not been enough of that.
I'm not sure if you need to be stepping outside the line of leg stump either, Nilo. They're not passing over middle stump these deliveries, so if you stay in your stance and it's just a step down the wicket, I think they might be doing a better job at making some contact here. Easy to say from here, of course. But don't move too far outside the line. That's short again outside the off stump. And big swing, no contact, another dot ball. 1 for 20 off 6.2.
Yeah. Getting a bit frustrated at the moment too, the batsman.
Absolutely. So the Aussies, none for 269. Travis Head, 152 not out. What a star he is. Something good had to come out of South Australia. If it's Travis Head, I'll take it, as that one's played into the offside nicely. That's the battle ball that Nilo's looking for. To the man out at, well, you could probably say deep backward point down there for a single, 1 for 21.
Yeah. If you swap those 10 swing and misses for
10
of
singles,
those,
they'd be up and around the 5 and over mark.
30 plus, and you'd say that they got going, they'd got started, but you wouldn't think they'd really got started just yet.
Both batsmen on 7 at the moment. So we had a wild start. We had 2 leaves, a wide, and then a wicket. That's what got us underway, and since then it's been a bit of a struggle for the batsmen. Epitomised by that delivery. Wide outside the off stump. Another swing, another miss. Clearly not learning their lesson from the previous delivery, Nilo.
No, absolutely. I know that they've been playing some very good cricket in the longer version, but maybe they haven't thought through the best approach to the T20 yet, the Balnarring boys.
Well, I might have half jinxed the Aussies here, Nilo. A wicket has fallen as we see that one defended and just played into the onside, and they're going to get a single. That's good batting, good cricket, 1 for 22. But David Warner has departed for 106. Australia 1 for 269. So Marnus Labuschagne is the man that will be coming in next, the red ball specialist.
Yeah, just talking about the white ball, he was saying that early on in his innings he's going to be looking for boundaries more than he had in the past. He's intentionally just working it around, but he's going to look for a few more options on boundaries. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight.
It will, as that has been swatted into the gap. They should pick up a single. They do. Yep. And that'll kill that 1 for 23. So, yeah, Marnus playing in his 25th one-dayer the other night. Nilo hit his first 6.
Okay.
In an ODI. So you look at, I think Steve Smith took him 7. So, we're not, you don't get started straight away. I think even the great AB de Villiers took himself 9 ODIs to smack a 6, but Marnus got the job done, so good to see.
Took me 8 years. So.
Took you 8 years, yeah. I like it, Nilo. I once got a lift to a cricket game junior days, and the second ball I faced, I put it through the car that lifted me his windscreen. So, long story short, I had to ring my dad and ask him to give me a lift home, because under no circumstances was I getting back in that car, Nilo, let me tell you. That's what happens when you drive the opposition to the ground. The only shot I could play in junior cricket, Nilo, as a left-hander, pull shot. That was about it. That was my entire arsenal.
Here we go.
As that has been flayed into the offside.
And it's a 6.
I think it might have got there. It has. Nilo's called it beautifully. 1 for 29. Here's the score. That's what we want to see. A bit of contact, and once it's coming off the bat, Nilo, it is racing away.
And he didn't swing hard to get his 6 there, compared to some of the swing and misses that have really been hard swings.
Absolutely. So what's the follow-up? That's the question.
Oh, hello.
A full toss has got him.
Yeah, and it's one of those sneaky, slower balls.
That's knocked over 2 stumps. The batsman doing a fake swing, thinking to himself, that's the bet. That's the worst ball I've got in all innings.
Well, I don't know about that, because I reckon it was one of those ones that looked full and he was going to plant it mid-wicket, but it died on him. Wasn't much pace. He misjudged the pace of that, then it took the base of the stump. So
the ball was on its downward trajectory as it was
Correct.
hitting the stumps, Nilo. It was an
Correct.
extraordinary bit of bowling there. Intentional or not, I'm not sure. But 2 for 29 the score. Gay out for 14. Still plenty to be done for Balnarring here. So a fantastic start by Pearcedale. They've done everything right so far. They had a half chance, but considering the pace that flew between keeper and first slip, I think we'll let them off with it, Nilo. It was that quick they didn't see it, let alone get a hand to it.
Yep.
So still plenty of cricket to come.
Regan, the next batsman in.
Know much about him, Nilo?
Oh, he's been in and out of the first over the last couple of years. Just a younger fella, and had a couple of good results. He's probably just looking for some consistent opportunities that he makes the most of, really.
Yeah, definitely. And just the Aussies are falling like flies now. 2 for 270. Travis Head has had to depart for 152 off 130 deliveries. What an innings.
Good innings.
That is, Nilo, if you think that's good, I'd shudder to think what you think is great. Steve Smith actually went in at number 3, so I think Marnus Labuschane's going to be pushed down
Maybe
the order
next.
here. I think
Okay.
Marcus Stoinis is going to go in.
That's good, because he hasn't had much of a go, really, I don't think.
He'll need a bit of a slog.
Well done.
Beautiful
Smart
Yorker.
balling.
Yep.
And that to me, that says that the previous delivery when he got the bowl was intentional, because it was very similar.
Yeah, it was spot on.
Yeah, so I think he can do it when he needs to, and he has learnt from that short one, which went to 6 before, and bowled really well since.
Spot on. That's another good follow-up that's been played into the onside for no run. So 2 for 29 remains the score. We're in the 8th over. And I think, Nilo, 110, 115 plus gives them at least something to bowl at.
Yep.
Oh, excuse me. That came through. Airwaves, I apologise. That little hiccup there. As we see, that played nicely into the gap. They're going to find the man at mid-on. That's good running, intelligent running. And they don't want to come back well. That's the one thing you don't want in cricket, Nilo. One batsman wants the overthrows, the other one doesn't. If they get back safely, it's all fine. 2 for 30 the score. Regan off the mark. And my man Darcy, 8 not out. He's been out there since the start. Hasn't had a whole lot of the strike, and that one not improving his strike rate at all. And that'll finish the 8th over. We're just under 4 and over here. 2 for 30 the score. That being Balnarring. Pearcedale, of course, the ones bowling. This is the Bendigo Bank match of the night. Of course, a special thank you to new business network partner Telstra, and we say g'day to the Mornington Peninsula News Group. Of course, if you want to be involved in the RPPFM Sports Business Network as a small business owner, packages starting from just $20 a month. Can you believe that? And we can get your business advertised across our live streams like we are tonight, our webpage, and you can visit rppfmsports.com.au to check out all our interviews, shows, and upcoming schedule as well once we plug those in there. All good things happening at RPPFM, the leader of sport on the Mornington Peninsula.
Miraduck 3 for 46 off 10.
Yeah, I'm thinking near triple digits on a night like this just might be something to bowl at, Nilo, given the couple of the scores you've given me. But we're going to get some spin, which I like, in the 9th over. So this is a big over, this one. If the spinners are going to be hard to play against, then we really are going to be bogged down here for a score as we get some leggies. That's slow, deliberate, and that's been played into the gap nicely. They should only get a single. Yeah, they do, but encouraging. The ball not turning a whole lot. We expect some skid. So what they're going to need to do, Nilo, pitch the ball up.
Oh, absolutely.
Hurry the batsman.
Yep. You get a bit of skid off the pitch, well, until it gets too wet, but it's only has to last for 20 overs, so it won't be too bad. But if you bowl it short, it's a little easier. So you just got to get that really awkward length. I think he sort of started off right.
Yeah, a bit shorter on that occasion. But you just want to be aiming for middle and off and just turning it past the outside edge. Get the batsman forward, as the late great Shane Warne used to say. That's a better length, although still a bit short.
Fraction wide too,
Yeah,
but
plugged into the pitch, didn't it? They'll get a single in the end, but not as much damage as could have been done on that kind of delivery. 2 for 32.
Yeah, I think he'd be happy so far with the over. If he can keep that rate going, the bowler, he'd be well pleased.
Yeah, there's only
Won't
one.
be easy to grip, I don't think it.
No, I don't think so, but there's only one man out on the offside here, so if there is anything wide of off stump already, they can throw the bat at it.
Oh, that was the example of the skid. Just down leg side. Batsman probably should have got a bit of pad in line and given himself more of a chance.
Did move over too, so maybe a touch surprised at the wide. Batsman did get over, and I'm not sure if the batsman was standing still, it would have missed him, but alas, we move on. The wide replay, and that's what it was. Outside the off stump, batsman went chasing.
Sorrento batting against Red Hill, 3 for 71 off 8.
There's not many opening batsmen are doing their reputations any nicely. Nilo across the Jack Peacock Cup here as we see another short one, and just hurried the batsman a fraction, which we expect. They'll pick up a single, coming back for 2. Bowlers end, the danger end. Comfortable 2 in the end. Bowlers end might have been a different story. 2 for 36.
In that Rye-Barnier game, Barnier now 4 for 65. I notice Thewlis has been put in the team again. He's the one who took Sorrento to task in the first round, and they had that big 34 or maybe 36 run over, depending on who you talk to.
Okay, just a Sheffield Shield score here as we continue the over. South Australia 1 for 62 in the second innings at the moment, trailing by 40 runs with 9 wickets remaining. WA against New South Wales, WA all out. 233, huge result for New South, as that's one of the biggest swings I've ever seen in a T20 game. They didn't really get close to it, but that'll conclude the over. Balnaring still struggling. I suspect it's not going to be any easier for Pearcedale here. 2 for 36 the score.
See number 4 there, Swainston directing a bit of traffic, organising the field.
Yeah, absolutely. So 12 overs to come. 5 and over only gets them to 96. Which, given some scores we've seen, would still be definitely under par. But with this kind of pitch, Neil, I haven't really seen a pitch like it.
It's an it's got a lot of bounce, and it's a pretty new one. I had a bit of a look. It's got good coverage of, well, I was going to say grass. It's not really grass, but the
AstroTurf.
Astro, yeah.
As we see a bye there, just
through.
missing the keeper. It's not a good night to be a keeper, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to give him a bit of slack, I think.
Yeah.
Well deserved, 2 for 37 the score, but given the skittishness of the pitch, it's going to be pretty difficult. Not sure you'd have the junior cricket sort of backstop as you used to have, Nilo. I'm sure you remember, as that one's short and pulled nicely into the onside. First one run quickly, but they're not going to get a second. 2 for 38.
Because the other important junior position was long stop, backstop and long stop.
It was, definitely.
Never have them in seniors. You
No,
shouldn't either.
No, you'd like to think not, given the gluttony of things you've got to take care of here. Stoinis and Smith, bit of a slow start to their partnership. Understandable after the amazing start by David Warner and then Travis Head.
Got away with that one. It might have been considered close to a wide from your mate bowling.
Absolutely, that's a nice little lap shot there that's been played. There's no one down at fine leg, so 2 should be on offer here. 2 taken. Really nice running. So just maybe a little shift here in batting. by Balnarring. They do want to get across to off stump, even outside off stump, Nilo. They're thinking if we're going to go horizontal bat shot, let's turn it onto the onside, maybe spread this field a touch. 2 for 40 the score. We're in the 9th over. As we see again, they go horizontal on the offside, and the line, the easier it's been for Balnarring at the moment. Hope you can join us throughout. This is going to be a really interesting game of cricket. That one attempted lap again, didn't get much of it at all. The keeper on the way to get it. They'll pick up a single, 2 for 41. What kind of score are you expecting, Nilo? If you're Balnarring, what do you want to come off the ground with that's reasonable?
120.
Yeah, I think so.
They've had 2 scores of 130. One was enough to win, and the other one they just fell short in the first 2 T20 games. Pearcedale, remember in round 1 they made 160 odd and got the highest score of the round. So
yes,
they've got a couple of very dangerous batsmen.
They do.
120 you'd feel you had a chance, and then if you got 2 or 3 of the key bats out,
all over Red
you
Rover.
could give yourself a good chance. But anything less than that, you run the risk of someone like Swainston.
So I might have been wrong, Neil. We might be 10 overs in here. Considering the umpires swapped ends there.
Yeah,
so
definitely 10. I'm saying.
Okay, so 2 for 40 after 10. I'll tell you what, Nilo, something happened to me today. I know fantasy sport might be not everyone's cup of tea, but something's happened to me today that I really need to talk about. And so you're going to act as my therapist after this delivery.
Yeah, can do that. We'll get a couch
as we see that one, chopped off the stumps for a single to the man at third man. So
more singles now. I'm pleased to see the last couple of overs.
Absolutely.
They're starting to get bat on ball and pushing around for the ones.
Yeah, they're working through beautifully. So Nilo, I like my American football.
Yes.
And I'm in a fantasy league with a couple of, one definitely, RPPFM alumni in Jake Smith, the great man Smithy. As that's been swung away, that's going to be 6.
That's more like it. Just nice, clean pick-up
absolutely, there. Picked it up. And not only that, Nilo watched it all the way off the bat as well. 2 for 46. That's a way to interrupt Daz's story, let me tell you. Fantastic shot. And nothing says local cricket quite like jumping the fence to go get it, Nilo.
Yeah, absolutely. Might give you a minute to relay your story.
Yeah, so to jump in, I had 2 players left today, the last game of the NFL. My opponent had 1, Nilo. And not only did I lose the game today, which was unfortunate, but the quarterback that I had threw the ball to my opposition player's receiver to lose me the game.
Wow.
So I was ahead.
Yes.
Now, not only did I get points for the touchdown, but because the receiver gets more for catching it and running it into the end zone, I ended up losing.
Oh.
Can you believe that?
That's tough.
That's, not getting the sympathy I thought I would get from Nilo there, but I ended up with the second highest score in the league and losing this week. So I'm going beautifully, is the point of this story.
So runners up in a grand final, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. Someone in our league won with like 91 this week, and I scored 160. How's that fair? So we see that one swatted into the onside, and they'll pick up a single. That'll be the last I speak of it, Neil, I promise you, but I'm not happy. So both batsmen now on 11. Reagan with that huge 6. They cleared the fence. Don't worry about the cones.
Yeah, it was a very clean hit.
Definitely the shot of the day as we're into the 11th over. And that's been swatted away. Well fielded. They'll get the single, but they save 3. Nicely done at the man, a point.
And just a little bit of intent from Regan, and it's just changing the tempo of the game a little. All of a sudden, they're getting their runs. They were really having trouble getting bat on ball, and now they're probably where they would want to have been. This is just about catchable. It is catchable, and it's straight through.
Oof. So, 2 for 49 the score. I think they got 2 there. That might be 2 for 51. I apologise. So the half century up for Balnarring.
Regan on 14 and Warburton on 12.
He's definitely come in with a spark here, Regan. That one played nicely again. The timing, the single. Nilo's loving this.
Much better.
Don't need to go boundary chasing. They might get an overthrow here. They will not. So just a single. 52 for the loss of 2 at the moment. Hope you're not only safe and sound, Nilo, on this Tuesday night, but warm. I can't believe I'm saying that on November the, what are we, 22nd or something? Ridiculous. Yep, 22nd exactly
22nd.
of November, and I'm in a hoodie. And I ain't skinny, so no excuses as far as I'm concerned. Weather gods, what are you doing to us?
Yeah.
And I'll call it a month from now, I'll be wishing for the cold back. That's just the way I roll.
Right up. Into over number 12
12?
now.
Yep.
Definitely the scoreboard hasn't got that aspect right at the moment.
The score's
11
definitely right.
completed. The score's right.
2
11,
for 52, yep.
11 completed. We're in the 12th.
So the run rate has done good things for Balnarring. They've picked it up. And that one's just plodded, you could say, into the offside.
And Regan's looking
For no run.
looking quite good, really.
He wants
The
the strike, which I
Skipper-
like.
Yeah, Skipper would be pleased with this.
I like that attitude. Australia 2 for 290 with 8 overs to go.
They've got 29 off the last 4, so
Yep. It's
picked up well.
Yeah, it's been noticeable too. I'm not sure about the bat waving so much as the bowler comes in and hitting them
That's
like
another
that
one
might
that should
prove
be
me
caught.
right.
No,
That's well taken.
he's hung on to it.
Yeah,
Well
that's a
done.
fantastic
Yeah,
catch.
yeah. First I thought,
I didn't think
mate,
he gave it the love it deserved, Nilo, but then I realised
Correct.
you thought you dropped it. He didn't.
Yeah.
Watched it all the way in. That's a fantastic catch.
I thought it hit the hands, and then I thought, oh, gee, is that the ball on the ground? But it wasn't.
There wasn't a huge exclaim of excitement, so I'll
No.
give you that. But that's the 3rd wicket down for Balnarring. They're 3 for 52. Plenty of work to be done. And Pearsdale right now, their top order would be thrilled with the fact that they mightn't be chasing too many if this continues. But as we've seen, Nilo, not many opening batsmen really getting the job done today. I'm sure you've got some scores for us that...
Had a couple that trickled in, but yeah, at the moment the batting side's struggling a bit. Although Sorrento 4 for 74 off 10, that's not too bad. They've just slowed down a little. They were 3 for 71 at 8, so 1 for 3 they've lost in the last 2 overs, Sorrento. But up against Red Hill, and the whoever loses that game could actually be out of business. So it becomes pretty important because they're like this. There's 2 teams that've got 1 win, 1 loss. Rosebud in that division is the only undefeated side at this stage. So if they get another win tonight, they're in the box seat.
They are. That's
And
out.
caught.
Yeah, nicked. Gone.
Faint nick.
On the hat trick. Tell you what, how's that for you Tuesday night? You rock up 5 o'clock, you're in early, and you're out even earlier.
Yeah.
4 for 53 the score.
Bit of a long walk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cameras
it is.
everywhere. First ball.
Nilo's here. Everyone wants to impress the great man. I don't blame them. But 4 for 53. This is turning into a bit of a horror show for Balnarring at the moment. And if their bowlers can take any consolation, is if it's difficult now, it's going to be more difficult later. But this has been ultra impressive by Pearsdale Nilo. They're putting the ball in good areas and they're using the pitch to their advantage.
Right now we might see a bit of action from the. This looks like Jake, the skipper. Right, so that was Brett Millam who departed, and now up to the now we're up to Jake, coach, captain, to see what he can do.
Need the batsman to face
Owner
the
of
delivery.
3 medals, the last 3 medals in
Goodness.
in district.
So we could see some fun.
So could see something pretty dangerous.
Neither of these batsmen have faced a delivery. So if you're Pearsdale right now, 4 for 53, 11 and a half overs gone, you're thinking to yourself, we are going beautifully. And I can't say I blame them.
Yeah, I guess the one thing you'd want when Jake Hewitt come in, at least he's on a hat trick, so it puts a little bit
Yeah.
of extra pressure on him.
How good would this be? Good luck to your son. And it's a full toss down leg side that's been flicked away. They should get 2. At least, yeah, they'll pick up a couple. They'll want to come back for 3. They've run that really hard, but not happening on this occasion. That's a beautiful throw in too. From the fine leg boundary, 4 for 55 is the score. And we're almost at the end of the 12th over.
So the 2 batsmen at the moment, Jake McGinnis and I'm pretty sure that's Jake Hewitt in with him, but very nice shot, that one. Flicked it off his toes.
Yeah, very much so. As we see, that one played off the leading edge, it looked like. To the man at cover for no run. 4 for 57 still the score. 1 ball left in the 12th over. So 8 to come. So a runner ball will get them to 106 at the moment. And that's got to be the pass score from here. If these 2 can stay in, they've got to build off that.
Ooh.
That's a leading edge.
Ooh.
And that's going to beat the incomers. There is a man on the fence.
A little bit of movement and wobble still. Got that one, he overcorrected. He got the thick outside edge in the end, but I'm pretty sure it started around about leg stump.
Yeah, spot on, Nilo. Middle and leg definitely. Suck the batsman into closing the bat face. That's what caused the leading edge. But the end of the 12th over, we are 4 for 58. So 8 to come. The Aussies have stopped because of rain.
Soft.
Yeah.
We played through it here.
Yeah, absolutely we did. We didn't give up, Nilo.
No.
And we're standing outside. What are they doing? 50 shades are not much. Sitting down. Come on. So the 13th over due to commence right now.
Ooh,
And that's a nice tickled edge. Yeah, it was a beautiful shot. Don't let the fineness of that delivery overtake the quality, and the ball just stops here at fine leg backward square from the end that's being bowled, but they'll pick up 3 and they'll go to 4 for 59. No, you're right, Nilo. We've just done a bit of catching up. 4 for 63.
Yep.
That's the score. We're doing our best, Nilo.
We're probably making the mistake of relying a little bit on the scoreboard.
Well, it's almost
We'll
like that's
catch
what
it
it's
up.
there for, Nilo.
Well, that's what I would have thought.
That's flicked beautifully. It's going to beat the man on the catch, but
Oh,
that's
he's
a beautiful
trapped.
effort.
Yeah, well trapped.
Absolutely, and punched in for a couple. That's saving 2. 4 for 65.
With Jeniskin's looking quite enterprising.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've been in for a few deliveries, up to 6 already.
Yep, Millam there with that nice 2. And they've dropped. Here we go. The field is moving. That tells you momentum is starting to go to the batting team, considering this partnership's only about 8 deliveries long. Oh, that's skidded.
Oh.
And the batsman's hands go to its head. The bowler, sorry. Knowing, that was so close. So as we see towards the end of the 13th, another swing. That's in the gap. Save your legs, son.
Yeah,
That's
4.
4. Flicked through a traditional square leg. That's another 4. These 2. Oh, the question's got to be asked, why didn't they open if they're in this kind of form? My goodness.
They're looking all right.
Absolutely they are. But a beautiful flick off the toe. So the Pearcedale have just gone away from that 4th, 5th stump line. And they've been made to pay for it on a couple of occasions. 2 of them not getting to the boundary. The last delivery did. As we see the follow-up. That's a leading edge in the air. Good luck catching that.
Oh, got his hands just, but...
Oh, I'm not sure, Neela. I think that might have just been...
Fingertips, I reckon.
I reckon it's probably a half chance. I don't really want to call it a conclusive drop. And after all that, it goes down as a single. Scoreboard changing on Sus ever so frequently. It's gone from 61 to 68 to 66 in the matter of about 30 seconds.
So they've hit 3 runs and gone backwards twice. That's
interesting.
tough work.
Not really how my maths works, Nilo, but
That's
I usually just count upwards. Hasn't failed me yet.
end of the over. Batsman having a bit of a chat here. So this is the other Millen, B Millen, and Janiskin batting. Let's go with 66 and Daz, and we can always, if there's a correction, we'll let people know on that.
Absolutely. Yep, there's the correction. It's come through now. So 4 for
71.
71. Sus is having a heart attack over here. Not literally, but let me tell you.
Yeah.
No, now it's gone backwards. What's going on? Oh, my goodness.
The boys having a great time up there.
As we see another flick. That's in the gap too. That's going to be over the top. That's over the fence.
Yeah, into the pine trees there.
Ironically, this ground not played by the pines, but there's plenty of pines and the ball's in the pines. And after all that, it's 6. 4 for 77.
Or 72, whichever they settle on.
Well, not sure what's happening, Neil. I'm going with 77. I'm pretty confident in it.
Yep.
So we'll go from there. I think that's a beautiful shot. Everything
Good
that
shot.
has been in line with middle and leg stump has been deposited into the onside field. A couple of occasions the ball's just plugged, and I think the batsmen have thought, enough of this running. I'm not sure I'm a massive fan of that. Let me just plop it into the trees. Thank you very much. So the bowler now got it correct.
Well, he's
Nothing
working that length.
Yeah, absolutely. And the line, Neilo, can't be close to leg stump. Got to be outside off. There we go. How's that for a theory? That's gone long. Is it going to get there?
Chase it down.
No,
just
plugged
inside.
Yeah, definitely did, Neilo. They'll come back for a couple.
As we said, it's a slow 7 out there, the track.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And
the penetrometer reading.
Yeah, absolutely. So the score will continue on. They seemingly have corrected it to 74. Okay.
So we're going on that for the moment.
Yeah, we will. Wonder how long it'll last us. I'm looking forward to finding out. But it's a good display of batting here. I'm enjoying this partnership immensely. That's a leading edge. That's exactly what we were asking for, but the man is not square. Sorry, he is too square. Not fine enough. And then after a full circle, bowls it back into the wicket-keeper on a Yorker length to the keeper too, not making it any more simple for a couple.
I think that fieldsman would prefer a fast track. He was he was having trouble stretching out on the soft track.
I think we call that turning circle the Daz.
Correct.
Yeah, it's geez, you didn't have to agree with it that quickly.
Oh no, I thought it was a great description.
My goodness. Oh, thank you very much. The old Kenwood sometimes, big dazzling can look if things aren't going his way. There we go. This over's had a bit of everything, and nothing has favoured the bowler, which means we might be on the verge. And we were on the verge. How's that missed? Appeal, nothing given. So we're about none for 3 on the appeals basis here. The scoreboard's given Sus anxiety.
Getting a message, I think Miraduck all out for 90. I'm just getting a confirmation on that. They lost a couple of quick wickets near the end, and I think that's what it's ended up on.
That's more than fair enough. What have we got to finish?
Oh,
a big swing. That's in the air.
Again.
Good luck catching that. It's a difficult chance. Well
beautifully taken.
Never in doubt. Where did that come from? But the 5 wickets down now.
Good pair of buckets. That was good.
And the partnership of the day has ended.
They'd put a bit of pressure on themselves in the field with some of the catches, but he was never in doubt. That was just really just trotted around and just took it beautifully, the way you'd expect an outfielder to take it.
Yeah, it was a bit like Daz in the morning, Neil. It was just beautiful.
Oh,
mate, I'm at my best, let me tell you.
Fresh.
Yep. So 5 down.
And Millam Prez, or certainly ex-Prez. He was Prez last year. Enterprising 15, decent 6. That's probably the hit of the night so
definitely
far. Nice
2 sixes so far of the day. 6 or 7 boundaries. A couple of youngsters to our left looking for a spot to sit down. Ain't going to be there, lads. It's soaking wet, let me tell you. I'll save your parents some laundry. Don't sit there. It's the poor clotheslines at the moment, Neilo. Getting no work out at all.
No.
Given the rain. So 5 down. Not long left in this batting innings, and then we're going to see if Pearstale
What they can do.
can buck the trend on this pitch. The 2 men are out in the deep still on the onside. There's a bit of sunshine poking through.
Blue sky behind the bowler's
Simple to
arm.
bat now. This is perfect batting conditions. Hope he can stay with us throughout. And the first ball's played nicely into the offside. Plugged a bit, which is going to allow the space required for the single. And that will end the over, I'm pretty sure it will. So 6 to come. There's a beautiful little dog here that looks
there's
like
two dogs
yeah,
complaining.
Look like they'd rather be anywhere else on the planet right now than here.
And the owners come in shorts and thongs and complaining about how cold it is.
Yeah, well, I can hear my my dad's voice in the background just going, well, there's a reason for that, son.
That's right, yes.
Might have something to do.
Member of the board there, ex-president of Baden-Powell. A great lover of RPP.
Yeah, absolutely. We thank them for it. It seems like Balnarring have been in the 70s for an hour and a half here. We promise you they haven't. That's a slow delivery. They're going to cause this. This has got an over for me, Nilo, that tells me a wicket and maybe 4 off it, or he could go for 20. It's got that feeling about it. Because I think the batting team will look at it as an aggression point, whereas the bowlers will think they're in with a chance always.
Yep.
5 for 78 the score.
So Dave Warburton and Majeniskin are the 2 batsmen that are in, and at least the dangerous 6 hitters are both out so far. These guys probably best suited from just working the ball around.
And the lefty, we've got a lefty.
A lefty at last, and that one bounced.
Yeah, didn't it?
Climbed, and did enough off the deck to stop the batsman from getting contact.
Yeah, I don't mind that. As we see the next delivery, that's flighted nicely. Played into the offside, and singles are fine if you're Pearstale at the moment. They just don't want too many boundaries getting away. 5 for 79 the score.
Here's a score for you, Dramana and Rosebud. Dramana having to get a win against Rosebud to knock them off top spot,
definitely.
the only undefeated side. Were 1 for 64 off 6, all out for 93. Paddy Nagel a hat-trick.
My goodness, and speaking of my goodness, that's an outrageously good shot. Save your legs mid-wicket. That has gone for 4. A beautiful cross-bat shot there. And Nilo, there's just a feeling. I don't want to jinx it.
No,
but we've got a game on.
Yeah,
there is something about. The sun's come out, the runs have come out. Usually it's sun's out, guns out, but sun's out, runs out at the moment. It's getting easier to bat on the longer they go here, Balnarring. What's the follow-up from the bowler? Down the leg side, just tickled around the corner. They should get 2. Oh, no, we've got a slip.
Over.
But they'll come around for a comfortable enough 2. Probably a sinking feeling for all the batsmen there.
Okay, the current run rate 6.38.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's...
Depending on what score you
yes,
use
that's
to
true,
calculate
Neil.
it.
Yeah, absolutely. Not sure what calculator they've got going there.
Yeah.
Pierced out. But anyway, back to the batsmen who right now are looking in charge. That's wide, but played to the man at cover. A misfield's going to cost them a run. That's not what we want.
Yeah, hit it in the air, he would have caught it, but he has... His couple now have gone low down, around ankle height, and he's not getting a clean grab of them.
Yeah, spot on.
Okay, so Williams.
I think we're going to go.
Scobles had a wicket.
Yeah, I think we're going to go to an ad here, Nilo, but it's 5 for 83, and I think we've got 5 more overs to come. This is RPPFM's match of the night.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks. But there's another big bank snapping at their heels. It's been around for over 160 years, has 1.9 million customers nationwide who bank in branch, online or with their mobile app, and is regularly voted one of Australia's most trusted brands. Who is this bank that has everyone's attention? Welcome to Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
Welcome back to Pearstale Reserve. Not sure what Nilo's doing there to get his headset back on, but he's flying at the moment. 5 for 84, 5 overs to come. Make it 4.5 after that dot ball outside the off stump.
looking brighter now than it's looked at any stage in the innings, I reckon. Not only good for the batting, but actually brighter, weather-wise.
It sure is, Nilo, and I think we've got confirmation on the run rate too. But we'll keep you updated throughout. It's now come up with it's now come up with 93, so that's 6.38 makes sense.
Yep.
With the 5 for 93 or 15, so.
Right, Flinders ended up 6 for 144 off their overs.
That's a good score.
And so
Sammy
Sammy Gove batting down at number 7 made 36 off 16.
Of course he did. This kid is too good at this sport, actually, and it's really starting to get on my nerves. As that is a big swing outside the off stump. Nothing happening, but ooh. My goodness. So, Balnarring, they'll want to finish strong here. 120 still on the cards they probably more on the cards here, as that's a quick single well taken. 5 for 94 is the total. Any other scores, Nilo?
No, that's the only confirmed. Plus the one we had just before. Oh, hang on, we do. Yes, they've just popped in. Sereno 6 for 105 off 15. Bonio ended up 99, so Rye will be chasing 99. Crib 7 for 75 off 18, playing. Well, that's a good question. I got a message from the Langwarrin scorer, but I know that Tybe. That's all right. I was going to. That doesn't make sense if they're playing Tybe. So 7 for 75.
Glad you said that. That's outside leg stump. Big appeals, and you know what they say about appealing at mid-wicket, Nilo? It's just stay involved.
Yeah.
They've got no clue if it's in line, out line, but it's hit some pad. We're going up. Going up for not much. So the sunshine is beaming through now. Who said there was
fantastic?
Who said there was rain?
Beautiful.
My goodness.
No,
That's
well, actually, our man Suss said the rain's only going to be brief. We'll be fine, and he's been absolutely spot on.
He absolutely has been, Neil. I couldn't have put it better myself. And a single taken to the man at point. At the moment. So the end of the over has come through. So there's 4 to come. And they'll be wanting everything they can get here. Balnarring singles. It almost has to be one a ball. And if there's a boundary ball, you've just got to take it. You've just got to set them something. I believe anyway, Nilo.
I think you're right. But for a while they were really struggling. They've bounced back pretty well, really, to be at this point with a few overs to go. Every chance of getting 120 or even a bit more than that.
Yeah, still game on for sure as we see the start of the next over flicked nicely. A traditional square leg would have swallowed it, but they had a man on the fence, so they'll pick up a single. So Pearcedale, how do you go about this run chase, Nilo? I mean, the first 5 overs was Balnarring just trying to get some bat on ball, so
and couldn't get anywhere near
absolutely.
it. Yeah.
So Pearcedale are going to have a
1
job
for
to
17 off the first 5. Well, Pearcedale are going to have to be about double that, I would think, off the first 5. But they've got a couple of. I mean, what they have to think about is how they set up their order, because they've got a couple of real goers, and in the case of where you put them in the order, because your two best hitters out cheap, they won't make 100.
Yep, sure.
But if you get one of them in or another one backs up later, so you got one of them going at any particular time, you get a chance of making the score, which looks like it could be the 120 or so mark at this stage.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see a swat by. Oh, they're going to go through. Out if he hits, he
got
does
him
hit.
too.
That's an
That's
outstanding
a great
throw.
Great throw.
They have had some moments in the field, Pearcedale, tonight on conditions that do not suit. They have been class all the way. He probably had 1.5 stumps to throw at, but
the batsman hesitated and then decided that only a couple of overs will go, and he just had to throw it down and did it.
Absolutely, and
Great bit of fielding.
And there wasn't a whole lot of backup there, so You got to hit him in that case, but 6 for 95 is the score.
End of David Warmbrand there. We've got 94, we think. It might be 95. Well, a couple of those things we need to check. We'll go with 94. I think the scoreboard's on 95, but it's moved around a bit.
It has.
Affected by the wind. I think it's wind affected.
Yeah, I think so. Quietly, I think it might be right, even with that
You
single
reckon with that one?
disallowed,
95? Okay.
Yeah, the flick to
Halfway
swell.
through the 18th we are.
Absolutely. So only the 15 deliveries, 14 deliveries to go. So a runner ball gets them
18.
to 100 odd.
Yeah, in
Just
the
over
18th, I
100.
believe.
So not too long left in the batting innings for Balnarring. They'll take anything they can get here. As we see the follow-up after the run-out in the air, but that's not going to be taking the men down a deep backward point.
And Gil Furness is the new batsman in.
For a single.
So a couple of big names not playing. I don't see Hewitt there. I don't see Wallace playing.
No, you're right there, Nilo. Spot on.
And I think that's probably good from the Balnarring point of view because they've been very strong and a few guys making a lot of runs on the Saturdays, undefeated. So they want to use this as an opportunity to give,
Some depth.
some
a bit of a
depth.
crack.
Next
Absolutely.
rung of players, give them some options, some opportunities. Majeniskin's looked handy with the bat. Millen was entertaining for a brief period of time, so it'd be better off with him having a hit than getting the star players dominating again.
They are
Well
as-
defended.
Yeah, it was well defended. I think wanting to turn that into the onside and just squared up a touch, but that's the end of the over. That's the end of the 18th. We've got 2 to come. 2 or 3. We think 2.
We'll go with 2 unless we've proven otherwise,
Yeah,
I
that's
reckon
it.
might be best. So 6 for 93 off 18. It'll be hard to get that 120 point from there, I suspect.
Yeah, definitely will be Nilo, but I think they're further into the 90s than the scoreboard suggests.
Yeah.
But we'll find out as quickly as we can. But it's got to be 110 at least, 115. Make Pearcedale sweat. That's what they've got to do. I hope you can join us, of course. We'll be going to a break during the innings break, but then we'll be back. Is that going to beat the man at cover? It will. 4 fielders converging, and after all that, it's just a single, although there is a misfield, but it will not cost a run. So some beautiful sunshine seeping through the peninsula now. And we deserve this. Late November. As we see the next delivery, beautifully bowled, a big appeal, but we're none for 5 now in the appeals department. Although 1 for 5, sorry, we did have a catch behind,
Yep.
nick behind, so
Yeah, a first ball off a ball that really flew.
yes, yeah.
The other appeals didn't have a lot going for them.
Like a rocket, there's a slight
Yep.
misfield. Can they get there at the bowler's end? They cannot.
I suppose technically you'd count that run out as an appeal, would you? We threw the stumps down. There was a
it
bit of a
wasn't
yelling.
close. I'm not calling it close
No.
enough to appeal. I think the yelling was a celebration rather
Yeah.
than an appeal.
Oh, I think you're right.
As we see the continuation of the 19th, that's quicker, and that's
Oh.
beaten the man at cover.
There you go. That's it.
Is it going to get to the boundary at will?
It
That's
will.
a fantastic shot and a costly misfield at cover.
Yep, that's that one down around the feet again, having trouble, but hit it in the air and he hangs on to them beautifully.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to be 4. Showing up beautifully on the scoreboard there. Here at Pearcedale, that is reading 6 for 99 with the 8 deliveries to go. So 2 runs a ball gets them 115. That's what they sort of got to be aiming for, but a thick
Ooh,
edge like that will get you 2. More than
must
likely.
be 2 here. Must
Yep,
be
they'll
2.
come back as well. I've nearly fallen into you there, Nilo, but I'm
No,
all
that's
good.
all right.
So that'll bring up the ton. 6 for 101.
Jeniskin to 25.
Yeah, he's
Been
been
a
the
nice
rock.
innings.
Yeah, he's been the rock
Been very
late,
good.
hasn't he? He clearly wants to strike throughout. So they'll be wanting a single. So what I'd be doing if I was Pearstale, just get everyone up. Get everyone up. Stop the single, because if he gets back on strike, he can have a bit of fun here in the last over. But they are spread. Worried about the boundary. Not sure why, but that is a beauty.
That's a ripper.
There's the leg spinner we wanted.
Yep.
Drew the batsman forward. Couldn't get it done. So we've got one over to go here. It's 6 for 101. Hope you can join us throughout the run chase as well. Pearstale will be trying to chase down the triple figure score that Balnarring have put up. They've still got 6 balls to go.
Yeah, they'll be trying to hear Jeniskin's going to be on strike, so they'll be wanting to give him a single early and get as many deliveries to Gil Furness as they're able to.
Yeah, spot on, Nilo.
See some funny things happen in those last overs, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I tried giving Tyab some extra runs last time. Australia, 3 for 314. I think that game has been reduced to 47 overs, so only 2.5 to go. Australia in a really, really strong position.
And there goes the 400 I was talking about, with lost overs.
Absolutely, that's a beauty first up.
Oh, well done.
It's been played
the
nicely
single.
in the Mitch Johnson soccer style, and it's going to cost them an overthrow.
That was not thinking cricket at all.
They're the kind of things, Nilo, that if you lose by a couple of runs,
gee whiz.
my goodness.
But I mean, yeah, they should have been thinking, let's get this guy off strike, give him a single, and then they turn it into a 2 with adventurous fielding.
Absolutely.
That's what you can describe that as.
6 for 103. It's the score not far away by the end, for the end of the batting innings, of course. Had a little bit of a delayed start to the game, but we hope you've enjoyed the coverage so far. As that one's been defended into the onside for a comfortable single. That's how you get off strike there, Nilo. 6 for 104 is the score. So it's been the first 10 overs, Nilo, it's got to be said, belong to Pearstale.
Definitely.
Got to give Balnarring credit here.
They've bounced back.
Yeah, they have. A couple of beautiful big sixes. Some better running between the wickets. One not very good piece of running between the wickets, but that happens. That's a big swing. That's just gone over the head of the bowler, but they're going to get the single.
Oh, not
It was almost perfect placement. Golf chip shot style.
Yeah. Not sure he needed to actually throw that then, because all it could possibly happen is it escaped.
Yeah, you miss it, and there's overthrows. Yeah, we might. Not sure what's going on with the over category at the moment, but hey, if they get another over and we get to watch some more runs on the board, it's going to make for a better run chase. So we'll see how they go. As we see, a nice lofted drive that's not going to make it to the man at mid-on, and given the fact he was off balance,
scampered
get through for the single easily. 6 for 105, and we do think there is another over to come after this. Our apologies. So that 120's back on, Nilo.
Well, it is, yeah.
Maybe. We're 90% sure. 6 for 105, sorry.
Sorrento 6 for 124 off 17, and that crib point score of 7 for 75 was in 18.
Ooh, not good for crib point there, as we see a beautiful shot over mid-off. A couple of bounces, a little bit of a roll, and it scampers into the long-off fence. Fantastic shot. 6 for 109, and the runs have come freely here in the last 6 overs for sure. Balnarring are giving themselves something very respectable to bowl at, considering we think there's 7 balls left. So two runs a ball gives them 123, Nilo, and 4 overs into this game, they would have taken that in a heartbeat.
Oh, absolutely. They were looking like they may not even get near the 100 mark early on.
Yeah, for sure. That's wide. Not going to be paid.
Not called. Not
no,
called.
So that's the over gone. And they're not coming off, so we think there is an over to go. There is 6 for 109. This is a big, big last over. What have Balnarring got in the tank? We're about to find out. This partnership, Nilo, it's only been worth about 15 odd, I think.
But handy.
Oh, it's been, yeah, absolutely. It's giving them the base to post a score.
Halfway mark, 10 over mark, 2 for 40.
Yeah.
And now they've got a chance of getting up to 120, so the second half of their innings has really been positive. A few more boundaries.
More singles. They've been running
Working
nice.
the singles hard.
Spin to finish, says Suss,
Courageous.
with a look that says this might be going through the windscreen of not our car.
A few blokes back on the boundary on this one.
Yeah, there is. As
Up
we'll
the blokes
see.
with good hands. Oh, it's
And
in
that's
the air,
been
but it's
plotted
just in a
beautifully.
gap.
The chip shot, extraordinary. They'll come back for two. Really intelligent batting that.
Good bat. Yeah, smart batting.
He didn't look like wanting to slog it.
Majeniskin's up to 26 now. 28 them now with those 2 runs.
Absolutely. So 5 deliveries to come. And there is a feeling of drama in this final over. That's been heaved into the onside. Are they going to get there? They are not.
4 runs.
That will be 4. 6 for 115. And Suss's judgmental look before is coming true.
Correct. Here's an interesting one. Bunio made 99. Rye after 3 overs, a none for 42. Fearless 40 not out.
Wow.
He's not mucking around.
That's extraordinary.
Yes.
That's I'll tell you what that's reminded me of, Nilo. There was a test match in New Zealand, I think, or against New Zealand. Matty Hayden and Justin Langer batted it. Drinks on day 1, Australia were none for 52, and Justin Langer was on 50 not out.
Gee.
It's extraordinary.
Yep.
Anyway, we start again. That's a leading edge. It's not going to get to the man. They'll pick up a single, but the danger averted, seemingly, for that one. Yeah, 6 for 116. That'll take us to, with only a few deliveries remaining.
So Sorrento won't be feeling quite so bad about their bowling effort to Thielers now.
No at all. That's a big swing.
That's
That's
a
going
nice
to be not picked up by the fieldsman either.
4 runs.
That's an extraordinary shot, and this over is proving extremely fruitful for Balnarring. They'll go to 6 for 120.
Wow.
Gil Ferns, 12. That's an extraordinary shot for the man who you got to be argued is less in. But 2 balls to go, 120 on the board.
Another shorter
What do you
one.
got, Spinner? You've got a quicker one.
At least it fizzed through a bit
It
and
did.
and hurried his shot.
Now, if you're the batsman here, you just want a gap.
Yep.
If you go for the big swing and you miss it, I mean, you get donuts. But 120 does seem about right.
Well, up in
There's
the air.
in the air.
But,
All yours.
Oh, there's enough behind. Oh, it's taken.
Well taken.
Catch. Well
there you
caught.
go.
Great
There's the
catch.
big swing and you get nothing, Nilo.
Yep.
Called it beautifully, but 7 for 120 is the score. And they're coming off, rightly so. That's the end of the innings. 7 for 120. Not great match awareness by the next Balnarring batsman who was ready to prepare to be out there for 0 deliveries. But 20 overs, 7 for 120. So the Pearcedale have got it easy as in terms of the chase. A run a ball and an extra there somewhere. 121 to win. We're going to go to a break. This is RPPFM's match of the night. This is Pearcedale v Balnarring. Pearcedale need 121 to win.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks. But there's another big bank snapping at their heels. It's been around for over 160 years, has 1.9 million customers nationwide who bank in branch, online or with their mobile app, and is regularly voted one of Australia's most trusted brands. Who is this bank that has everyone's attention? Welcome to Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
Established in 1988, Progress Signs has been servicing the local community for 30 years. Located on the Mornington Peninsula, they are the #1 destination for all your signage needs, specialising in a variety of signage from vehicles to shop fronts, occasional and corporate events, short-term, long-term and everything in between. If it's signs you need, be it large or small, Progress Signs is the place to call. Available 24/7 at progress-signs.com.au or call the team on 5975 9188. Thinking signs? Think Progress Signs, a station sponsor.
Battery World now open in Mornington.
We know batteries. We know our 75 D23Ls from our DIN 65LHs. And we know which is best for you. We have the range and a spark no one else can match. Because we live and breathe batteries. Those beautiful boxes and cylinders that power our lives and our passions. That's why we're the batteryologists. We're Battery World.
Battery World Shop 1, 43 Mornington Tyre Road, Mornington.
Hello, I'm Roy Sanderson from RJ Sanderson and Associates. We have created a 10-step roadmap to recovery for businesses. To inquire or get a copy, go to our website rjsanderson.com.au.
A station sponsor.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks. But there's another big bank snapping at their heels. It's been around for over 160 years, has 1.9 million customers nationwide who bank in branch, online or with their mobile app, and is regularly voted one of Australia's most trusted brands. Who is this bank that has everyone's attention? Welcome to Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
My name's David Allen. I'm the chairman of the board of the Coringal Bowls Club in Melbourne, Victoria.
I'm Philip Crowder. I'm the Bowls Operations Manager at the Coringal Bowling Club, which is home to the wonderful Sky Dome. Well, I think it was David, if I can give David credit for that. We are actually on Sky Road, S-K-Y-E. So it's a play on the street name, Sky Road, as in Sky Domes.
We made the decision to go with a canopy because we want our members to be able to play bowls all year round. We want our working members to be able to play after hours. So with our canopy, we can play bowls from sort of 8 in the morning till 10:30 at night, basically 7 days a week.
With people in the local area actually seeing the construction, we have that many social and actual members now that saw the construction, were fascinated by it, and they've actually come in and become members of our club.
It's had tremendous advantages for the club, particularly we're in the middle of winter right now, and 2 years ago this place would have been dormant because we closed for 5 months of the year, and now we're open 24/7. It's been fantastic.
As Bowls Operations Manager, I've now implemented a winter bowls program, which also includes our Super League, which is an evening competition with $10,000 prize money, which has brought bowlers all the way from Gippsland and plus people towards the inner city as well. So it has been fantastic in that regard. So we have pretty well something going every day, whereas before there would be no one here other than the people coming to our gaming facility.
We recently had a state test match here, which is a great honour for a club. It's very rare for a small club to be given an interstate test match, and of course it's lifted the club's standing in the bowls community immensely.
Because of that, we get them actually coming back again and again, in fact to become members of our Facebook page so that they're aware of our tournaments. In fact, our Facebook page is increased by 100% by people who keep on board, and so that they know what's on so that they can actually come and play. Now, the other side benefit that is that we have multiple people who are now dual members. So they're not only members of their own clubs, but they are now members of the Coringal Bowling Club. And in fact, we've had multiple of those actually come and now join Coringal solely as their major club. And so our sponsorship, not our sponsorship, but our membership is increased dramatically. In fact, on our application wall at the minute, there's some 12 people waiting to see if they'll become members of our Coringal Bowling Club.
In my work, I managed to get around to a few bowls clubs, not only in Australia but around the world, and I've seen them all. I've seen all the brands, and the MacMax application is far and above the best. It's the Rolls Royce of fabric canopies, and we're so proud of what we've got, and we're happy we did it. It's an investment by Jeepers. It's a fantastic investment, and often people say, would you do it again knowing what you know now? And the answer is an unequivocal yes.
Hello and welcome back to Pearsdale Reserve 121. That is the target of the home team after Balnarring put up a spirited, in the end, 7 for 120. 2 for 40 was the first 10 overs. 5 for 80 was the second 10. Nilo is alongside me again for the run chase. Nilo, we've got a game on.
We do have a game on. They did well to get to the 120. That'll be very interesting to see what happens there. It's one of the better scores of the night, actually. Just whip through the other scores for you, Daz. Muriduck all out for 90 against Somerville. Flinders 6 for 144 against Baxter. And Sammy Gove, I mean, he wasn't the only one who got runs, obviously, but 136 off 16, and he was not out. Just a nice little cameo there. He decided to bat lower in the order. And interesting, so he can do it both ways. Get the ton, bat the day out.
Or
he
can bat when he likes, clearly.
Looks like it. Crib Point against Tybe ended up 83 off their overs, so a little bit slower, and Tybe have looked all right in that comp. We'll see what happens in that chase there. Bonio 99 after losing a couple of early wickets. Rye none for 76 off the first 5. Thewlis is still there. He got 40 off the first 3 overs. He's still in there. He's got his 50 already. Red Hill and Sorrento 145 against Red Hill. That's a good challenge. Again, the loser of that one's in trouble because Dramana look like they don't have enough. All out for 93. After being 1 for 64, and then Paddy Nagel gets a hat-trick. All out for 93. Rosebud have every chance of remaining undefeated after tonight. The other undefeated sides at the moment are Baxter and Somerville. Baxter a real run chase if they're going to get 144 from Flinders and pick up a win. Somerville in a good position against Muriduck. So the way things are looking at the moment, you'd like to think Rosebud will get a win and remain undefeated in that division. Baxter in a little bit of trouble, but they can still get there, of course. And Somerville have every chance of being undefeated at the end of that. It's interesting in this game because you've got to be within breathing space coming into the last round, and the winner of this game, Pearsdale Balnarring, will still have a chance. The loser will be out of the battle.
Yeah, they sure will, Nilo. So Roberts and Williams, my man, the Two Savage in Roberts, who wore the Two Savage sunnies walking out to field, and there was no sun. It was extraordinary, the form he was rolling with there. So
now it's sunny and he's got him off.
Yeah, it's extraordinary what he's running with. Might have to have a chat with him afterwards and just ask him. Probably not if he goes out, and especially early. But he'll be on strike for the first delivery. And that's played over cover. This could be out. Oh, no!
It's out. He's
hung
on to
it. What have I done?
The rolling catch out in the covers.
Roberts is out first ball, and
we've got a good vision of it here.
And let me tell you, he's not happy, and I'm not going to be asking him about the sunnies either, by the way.
Not now. We've got him back. Yeah, good grab, good bit of fielding.
I like the flamboyance of the legs kicking out at the end there, Nilo.
Looked like one of the young Warmburns that's right the other side of the ground there, but nice bit of fielding. Kept his eye on the ball all the way, which was the real strength of his fielding there.
Yeah, spot on. So after one delivery in the run chase, we are 1 for none. If you can believe that. Roberts holding out to cover. A very good catch taken.
And now Prosser.
My man, I hope his Two Savage sunnies are all right.
He's got a bit of a smile on his face, so at least he can see the enjoyable side of the game.
He's in better spirits than I would be in that scenario, let me tell you.
So this is one of the few Prossers not playing at Langwarren, not actually directly related. Coming in now at first drop.
And maybe defend this one, Nilo. Maybe just get your eye in, get some bat on ball, and
Well, he probably thought that was hittable. He didn't get
he
into
did
the
look
gap.
in the slot. I will give him that.
Yes.
It was just maybe not the execution
Well, he didn't hit into the
that
gap.
he was looking for.
Yeah.
Suss is shaking his head. I'm just trying to help him out.
It went a bit squarer than he would have wanted. He would have wanted it more towards the cover, and he picked the fieldsman out, and then the fieldsman did a great job. Good catch, as we saw.
Spot on. Of course, a little bit of a cricket on this day, Nilo. In 2012, so exactly a decade ago, Michael Clarke became the only cricketer ever to post 4 double centuries in a calendar year when he brought up his 230 against South Africa at Adelaide after scoring 329 against India, 210 against India, 259 against South Africa, and that 230 aforementioned. What a star pup was.
So
As we
serious scores, weren't they? They weren't
Yeah. Absolutely, they were. Of course, that 329 coming in the New Year's test, which I think was the third of that series. And then the 200 against India as well was the fourth test. I don't think that was in Melbourne, Perth, Hobart maybe. Definitely no one of those double tons were in Adelaide against South Africa. What a team that was.
We've been asked by the great cricket aficionado Rob Brewer why the new batsman is not on strike. And I think that rule only applies in international cricket. I don't think it's accepted down here.
They crossed?
Yeah.
I don't think they did.
Didn't they?
I don't think so.
Actually...
No, Suss has given me the shake
okay,
of
no,
the head.
Suss is saying they didn't. So maybe Rob saw something that... Well, he saw something I didn't see, but... No, Suss has checked it and said, yeah, perhaps it's not the way it should have been.
I'm with you. Around the wicket to the left-hander. Big fan of it. A lot of left-handers can fail to the ball on a fourth stump line, maybe swinging in a touch and seaming away. So I like this attitude by the bowler. That's in the air, and that's nearly the greatest call of all time, but it's gone for 4. Threw the hands at it beautifully. Thought it was going straight to the man at point.
He's clearly got it through the gap, but it was catchable height, Daz.
Well, it was. I was getting ready to do a party lap on my own, I reckon, but maybe better for everyone that it didn't go through to the hands. It's gone through to the boundary, though. 1 for 4 off 4 deliveries, 117 to go, and if nothing else, Neil, I've made Suss laugh tonight, so that's
good.
That's most of my job done.
Oh, Tyab in their run chase. Nick Taranto out for 2, 1 for 9.
Oh, goodness.
Because he got 50-odd last T20 game.
And there's the square up as well as the follow-up. Telling you, Nilo, the left-handers don't like it around the wicket for a right-hander. I remember Ryan Harris was very good around the wicket to the lefties.
Yep.
Of course, the one time he bowled over the wicket to a left-hander in Alistair Cook, he bowled the ball the century, so maybe not the greatest example I've given you there, Nilo. Of course, at Perth, what a delivery that was. My goodness. But we're last ball, first over, 1 for 4 the score. And it's not the last ball, though. How good's that?
Drifted down leg side.
7-ball curse is on.
Yep.
It is on, people. 1 for 5. Williams on 4. Prosser hasn't faced a delivery.
And if we listen to Rob Brewer, probably should have.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Mind, there's only a minority of people listening to you, Rob, but we get you.
Yeah, we got you covered, mate. But he's on. Might be on strike at the start of the next over, because that is a beautiful ball outside the off stump. Just teasing the left-handed Williams there, but nothing doing. That's the end of the first over. It's 1 for 5, so 116 to win off 114 deliveries. Hope you can join us throughout the run chase. We're definitely not going off, I don't think, Nilo.
No, this should be...
The overhead's looking okay.
Pretty interesting.
Suss
It
has
looks
just
like...
given me the you've jinxed it look.
No, don't say that. The clouds will come.
Well, as long as no one's trying to hang clothes on my washing line, it won't rain, Nilo. I've noticed the last 4 times I've gone to do washing, it's not only just rained, it's rained on me. So clearly... the weather gods have got something wrong with me wanting my clothes to be dry.
There's a bloke across the road from me who brings the rain by washing his car far too frequently.
Yeah.
I keep telling him to put the car away.
Yeah, a car cover could work too, son.
Yeah, that's right.
But we're going to get some slow stuff here, Nilo, it's looking like. Keeper up to the stumps, first slip in place. Very, very close. The left armour to the left-hander, and that is a draw. Left alone outside the off stump. 1 for 5 the score, 116 to go.
So you've got Ringfield here on the offside. One bloke back at mid-wicket and long on, or not quite a long on. Ooh, funny old shot. Didn't quite get the bat right there, but still there. but no run.
Can't even afford, even though the ball is spinning across the left-hander, can't afford to go off stump line. It's got to be outside off and trying to hit the top of off. The leg side field have got some gaps in it. And that one played straight down the pitch again. So this has been a really good start to the second over.
One game is over.
Ooh.
Rye got to the 99 in 7 overs.
That's outrageous.
Fearless 63 off 20.
Well, that's in the air. Is there a catching chance? No, not on this occasion. They'll get a single. Sorry, Nilo. Keep going.
Nathan Hunt 38 not out. So that's a pretty solid victory. 7 overs to get 99 or the 100 that they required. If you kept going like that, you'd end up with 300.
Yeah, you would. Extraordinary stuff as we see. This one played down the pitch again. This has been a beauty of a second over. One ball to come off, probably jinxed it, and this will go over the fence, but the first 5 deliveries have been excellent. So watch this absolutely fly off the bat. No, it won't. It'll be left outside. Suss is shattered that it didn't work. That's the end of 2, I think. Yep, it is. 1 for 6 is the score. 115 off 108.
That win from Rye there, getting the 10 wickets for 99 and then none for 100 off 7 overs, is going to help their percentage a bit too. So that
I would hope so.
Yeah, they'll probably be second to Rosebud. Does look like Rosebud will remain undefeated, but
so is that top 2 or top of the
top of each
through?
division?
Yep.
Top of each division only. So what that means is if Rosebud slip up in the last round, Rye can still make it.
Do you know who they play off the top of your head?
I did look that up.
Okay. We'll get back to you as we see the start of the third over. Just shortly, the left-handed Williams on strike. He's on 4. Nick Prosser's on 1. So we've seen a boundary. We've seen a wide. We've seen a single from Prosser. We've seen a wicket. And we've seen a false start.
Seen them all.
Yeah, so we'll get the beginning of the third over in just a tick. Of course, this brought to you by Bendigo Bank, the match of the night, with special thanks to new business network partner Telstra, and a big shout out to the Mornington Peninsula News Group doing fantastic journalism on the peninsula. Here's the start of the third over, and Williams just dabs at it outside the off stump. And we are once again, Nilo, in a tussle, not between batsman and bowler, but ball and bat.
It's going to be interesting that last round because Rye will get a bye, but next week they play Main Ridge.
Ooh.
So if they beat Main Ridge next week, Sorrento play Red Hill in the last round. Rosebud played Red Hill in the last round, so if Rosebud lost, Rye would go in. So they're well in it.
Game on they are as Williams lofts. Half lofted in the end, but it's plugged. They'll pick up a single, 1 for 7 the score. Or Prosser, that might have been.
Yeah, I think Prosser got that then.
Yeah, it was Prosser. My apologies. He goes to 2, 1 for 7 the score. Williams 4.
The ground bathed in sunlight. Are we allowed to say that, Suss?
Isn't it?
We can?
He
That's
can,
all right,
okay.
good.
I like how you ask after you've already said it, Nilo. That's short outside the off stump and the helmet sway getting the ball out of the way.
Been a lot of bounce in this pitch today, hasn't there?
It's either been outrageous skid or outrageous bounce.
Yeah.
At times, Nilo, for sure. So it's been a slow start, but if they've got wickets in the shed, it's not a total that should overwhelm too many. They'll obviously want one of these two, ideally both, but one of these two there at the end. As we see a pitched up delivery that's been played nicely to mid-off for no run. Maybe a little uppish, but no threat to the batsman's wicket in the slightest. So we're still none for 7. 1 for 7, I should say.
And I'm pretty sure this is Gil Furness bowling. A handy bowler. Played a few years at Tybe and batted all right today too, I thought.
He did, yeah.
Down the order.
Maybe left a couple of runs on the table there. He looked solid. There is a man at deep gully here, which is interesting. He's not quite a third man, maybe a bit square up as a third man, but we'll go with it anyway. Deep third man. So a thick edge that runs between sort of third and fourth slip. Might still go for 4, although this part of the ground has been a little slow, so maybe I can understand covering a bit more territory there.
Yeah, the part of the ground that is quickest is probably up in the pine trees on the full.
Yeah, the quickest part of the ground I've always found, Nilo, is the other side of the fence. The ball just seems to skip away. My goodness, as we see the conclusion to the third over, potentially as an absolute beauty.
Wow, that was beaten completely there.
Absolutely.
Well taken by the
off
keeper.
stump. That'll finish the third over. That is 1 for 7.
Jackson Hanna there keeping, and that one fizzed and he took it very nicely.
Absolutely. And I found something out this week, Nilo, that I want to ask you.
Okay.
Do you, because I feel like my generation was the last generation that grew up on board games. Would that be a fair thing to say, you think, with the rise of video games? But I noticed something playing Battleship with a little cousin of mine during the week. Do you remember that game, Nilo?
Yes, I do.
Have you not considered that it's just bingo for children? That I noticed.
I think
during
you're
the week?
right. That's a good call. That's a good call.
It's got nothing to do with warfare, that board game.
No,
It's numbers and letters. It's bingo for children. It's extraordinary.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well,
you sort of do.
You've got to say you've sunk my battleship, I think.
That's right.
Or if you don't, I was doing it like a clown, so other people can decide. But I think sometimes you just got to call it as you see it, Nilo.
I think that's a fair call.
Battleship's bingo for children, so no wonder they enjoy it as the decades roll. Being conditioned. I swear we'll talk cricket in a second. 1 for 7, the score.
They're ready
3
now.
overs gone. 114 off 102 required. So that run rate just slipping up a touch. As we see this one played behind the keeper, they'll get a single. The danger end's the bowler end, but the batsman had enough of a head of steam up. They'll go to 1 for 8. Prosser goes to 3, Williams 4. Roberts, the first man out. Not only was he the first man out, it was first ball.
Wow,
Very hold out to cover, a very nice catch taken. Beautiful camera work too. As we see another full delivery to the left-hander. Of course, also a couple of news things around. Neil, I don't know if you heard, but former Port Adelaide player Robbie Gray's gone to play footy in Doncaster. So,
Doncaster.
Yeah, so the last 2 games he's played footy at, as we see that one swung into the leg side, they'll pick up a quick single. But the question I've got to ask you...
Wasn't his body sort of wrecked and that was why he stopped playing?
It's amazing what a pre-season without expectations will do to you,
Well,
Nilo.
that's true.
Let me tell you, as they go to 1 for 9, but out of Adelaide Oval and Doncaster's ground, which one do you reckon's worse? Reckon it's close?
Adelaide Oval's a very good test venue.
Absolutely, that's not what I asked.
No, I know.
I asked football. That's in the air. Is it going to be?
Oh, got a hand to it there, Gil Furness, but he couldn't hang on to it.
Saved runs. That's the way you got to look at it.
Great effort.
That would have been the catch of the summer so far, although you wouldn't know it by the weather. We promise you, we are headed towards that.
Yeah.
1 for 10 the score. Williams 5, Prosser 4. 2 balls to go in the 4th over. That's been full of drama, full of board game talk, so I hope you've enjoyed that. But that's outside the off stump and just prodded.
It's proved a pretty good call to give him the slow bowler at this point. These fellas haven't quite got onto it.
No, not at all.
Rather than, say, the last over, which we saw in the previous innings, which was quite expensive.
And the only boundary coming off a very thick outside edge.
Yep.
And that one's going nowhere either. So this has been a really good over. 4 gone. 1 for 10. They're only going at 2.5 and over. They're going to need 111 now, and that is off 96 deliveries. Of course, after the 5th over, we'll head to a break. So we've got one more. Nilo, I don't have any more board game talk if you've got something for us.
No, just in the first innings, when the Balnarring boys were batting after 4 overs, 1 for 11. So it's a case of whether they can accelerate as well as Balnarring did or not.
I'm with you, Nilo. I'm with you. They had the acceleration pretty much in the last 8 overs, didn't they?
Yes. Oh, definitely.
2 for 40 was the score after 10. That being for Balnarring, of course.
Then 80 in the last 10.
They just went for it. So around the wicket,
that's in the air. He's picked that one up. That's better.
Yeah, that's a very nice shot. Save your legs, I think. The batsmen are just strolling through. That'll be 4.
1 for 4.
Traditional mid-wicket area, 1 for 14. That's been the shot of the innings so far, and it's by Nick Prosser, who's gone to 8, Williams 5.
And he played it straight. There was no risk about. And
definitely.
Finally, they made some use of the field being up in these early overs.
Spot on, Nilo. So still plenty of drama left in this one. You can feel it. Twists and turns to come. As we see this one
Another
flicked.
one. Carried
this could
or
be
not?
out.
No, he's out.
No,
he's out. Not enough bat on it.
That's a big wicket. Prosser goes for 8. 2 for 14 the score, and the momentum right back with Balnarring at the moment here at Pearcedale Reserve. 2-4. Well, they're 2 out, definitely. And I think they're 2 for 14. They are.
He'll go 2 for 14 in the 5th.
Yep,
and
so 94 balls are remaining, and there's still 107 to get. A bit of drama, which we like. So for as well as Pearcedale bowled in that first stretch, right now, Nilo, Balnarring have matched them and some, as we see Mendes walk out.
Yep.
Or Mendez, maybe?
Mendez.
D-E-S might be, yeah, I think Mendez, I think.
Yep.
D-I-S, as we know, was Mendes, the Sri Lankan boys. So.
Well, this fellow is a Sri Lankan, of course, and he didn't like running around in the wet field, but I think he might be
better. He had the Daz turning circle.
He had the Daz turning circle.
I feel for you, son.
But we'll see how his batting is.
Yeah, we'll see. They're going to need something. They're going to need to be positive between the wickets. They're not going to get it done in boundaries because it's been a bit of a swing and a miss start. But you feel Williams the key now, Nilo, especially to get through this first 10-over block. It's been there since the start. Seen 2.
Somerville 1 for 91, and that's a win.
Taking the Mickey there.
Yeah.
So there's a man very close to the pitch there, a short cover, in case this pops up. And that's played nicely late, but they're not going to get a run there. Perhaps got onto it a touch early.
So
missing out on a single.
Somerville, Wallace 42 not out, and Hazardham 20. Muradoc, Premathalaka made 23. McNamara and McDonald got a couple of wickets each. McDonald actually ended up with 3 for 6. So good win there.
Yeah, it's good going
to the Somerville boys, and
aren't they flying since I jumped on, Nilo? So this is the trick with Delican Park. You jumped off, they came in consistent. Jumped on Somerville, they haven't lost, and I'm not jumping off.
See, we might have to bring Peter Alp into the studio for the panel again if we're going to keep that Somerville flavour going.
Yeah, he was very good a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Was Peter. I'll, in case you're wondering, Pete, out there, next time we catch up, I'm a gym drinker. If you want to bring that in as a token of gratitude, I'm not going to say no. Good man, Peter, too.
He is. He doesn't mind a bottle of red. He's pinched some of mine a few times.
Okay.
Well, I gave it to him, but you know.
Oh, that's close. That is close.
It's
not
going
to be
closer
given.
than some of the others. Yeah.
Maybe impact outside the line of off stump.
Probably.
Suss has given us nothing, so it's a good decision by the umpire.
Suss was saying Gags was right again.
2 for 14 the score. We're nearly at the end of the 5th, so even if there is a 6 hit, they're still operating at under 4 and over. Here, Pearcedale, not the start that they potentially would have wanted.
Balnarring were 1 for 17 after 5.
It's definitely the momentum with the boys in red.
At the moment.
At the moment, there's a bit of South Australia Victoria feel about these colours as that one's jagged back in.
Was that the one where Victoria got hammered?
No, Queensland
gave
Victoria a pounding up there at Allan Border Field. But that's the end of the over, and we're going to go to a break. This is RPPFM's Match of the Day between Balnarring and Pearcedale.
The Mornington Peninsula Bowls region asks you to check out why lawn bowls in the Mornington Peninsula is just for you. It's fun, it's social, and it's affordable. That's right, it's fun, it's social, and it's easy to learn. There are over 25 bowls clubs on the Mornington Peninsula which offer free lessons and the free use of bowls. Get on the green now. Lawn bowls on the Mornington Peninsula is more than just a game. Station sponsor.
And welcome back. Pearcedale Reserve is the location. Tuesday night is the night. 2 for 14. That's the score. That is Pearcedale. They need 107. There's only 90 balls left in this one, Nilo. And I'll tell you what, I don't want to give my tip just yet, but the leaders right now are definitely Balnarring as we see the start of the 6th over with a push outside the off stump for no run.
Yep, from from being really struggling after 10 overs at 2 for 40, they've taken over the rest of the game.
Yeah, well, we've seen that. We saw that with Heather Hill and Amanda Liza in the one-day game.
We did, yes.
When we caught up Nilo. Tyab Muraduck as well had a bit of momentum swings in there as well, as most white ball cricket games do. But, yeah, this is definitely in Balnarring's control here. As we see the 6th over in commencement. That's nice and slow. A big swing. Got nothing on it. No run there. So I hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever you may be watching, listening, however you're doing it. The master himself, Peter Sasovich, doing beautiful things on production. And this is a good game of cricket to be producing. 2 for 14 the score in the 6th. That's hurried the batsman up, but there's plenty of space out there. That's going to be 4. Deep backward square leg, closer to fine leg. 2 for 18 the score. Mendez off the mark. He's on 4. Williams on 5. And Nilo, they'll want a few more of those as they head towards their target of 121.
Yeah, they've got to... Well, I reckon the momentum changed for Balnarring when they started pushing the 1s and 2s. Then you pick up the odd boundary. And
spot on.
So that's the sort of thing they've got to do. And sustained it a bit for a few overs.
They do. Clearly the onside, the spot for Mendez here. As he comes down
Bang.
again, but that's out.
Right down his throat.
Straight to him. He had 20 metres of space to work there.
Either side he could have gone.
Absolutely. And he's
picked him out.
He couldn't have hit it for better to him if he tried. That's 3 down, and they're falling like flies here at Pearcedale. 3 for 18, that's the score. We've still got 1 ball left in the 6th, and Paul Williams, Nilo, is just watching them fall all around him. He's going to have to do it himself.
And he's hardly had a...
He's barely seen it.
That's right. He hasn't been on strike a great deal, but at 3 for,
that's not good.
That's not good.
Your man Swainston coming in.
The danger man for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he can savage the attack.
3 for 18. A lot of J's, Nilo, I've noticed in this Pearcedale side.
That's a good point.
I think Roberts was a J as well.
Yeah.
I think all of them have been.
Yep.
No, Nick Prosser's not a
I think
not a
if
J.
they're not sure, they just put J up on the scoreboard.
Yes,
yeah, that's always a good
If
move.
you're unsure at the Pines, you go with Jackson, these sort of
things.
things.
Yeah, it's safe. Yeah, it's
absolutely.
safer that way.
Statistically, you're probably in the go there.
So Tyre 1 for 32 off 7, and they're chasing Crib Point's score of 83. Good start by them.
Absolutely, they are. So Mendez, the man, out for 4. 3 for 18 the score. This is extraordinary scenes. Here at the moment.
So 2 wins already up tonight, Rye and Somerville.
So what have they got? Pearcedale.
Well, we'll soon see, because Swainston's the man who can be very, very dangerous.
And Suss has just given me his tip for this game too, which I might reveal at the end of the over. So
Okay.
there's 1 ball to go in the 6th. 3 for 18. So if this is, even if this again, if it's a 6, they're only going at 4 and over, which is nowhere near enough if they're going to want 121. As we see this one defended nicely, although there's an appeal, but it's not going to be out. Definitely not. We're
hit the middle of the bat to start with.
We're 1 for 6 in the appeals department, but we're 3 for 18 on the scoreboard. 6 overs in, 103 required, 84 balls to go.
You can almost see Adrian Gallagher have a little smile on his face when he turned around.
We could see it in the back of his head, couldn't we? But I said, what if Pearcedale got Nilo?
Yes.
And I looked down at Suss, and Suss looked up at me with that big boss's eyes.
Yeah,
look. He
the
gave
chief.
me the look of, my opinion's the only one that's right here, and he's just given me the shake of the head. He's called them off already.
Ooh.
That is a huge call. If we get to about 3 for 60 odd, we might be thinking...
Well, if Swainston's still in it at 3 for 60 and they've still got overs up their sleeve, they're right in it. But they've got to get to that stage first, and that's, I guess Pete's taken that view, and I think he's made a sensible thought, sensible contribution.
Yeah, not many teams win when they're 3 down, going at 3 and over in a T20
No, you can't afford
game.
to lose early wickets. If you're 3 down before in the first 5 overs, you're in a bit of strife.
Unless you're on about 40.
Yeah, well,
and
true.
even then, it's not great.
And Thewlis is there. 65 not out off 20, remember that? And then that wind did it in 7 overs, got to 100.
Yeah, I do. It's around the wicket again. That is a beauty. Geez, there's been some trouble for the left-handers around the wicket. Almost like it was called.
Yep.
But
and again, the bounce, swing and a miss. It's been one of the stories of the night for sure.
Absolutely. So Australia are at their innings break. 48 overs. The Poms have got to chase down 356, Nilo.
Okay.
A huge score. David Warner and Travis Head. It's the highest opening stand by an Australian pair in one-day cricket. So massive congratulations to those
well
two
done.
boys.
I was going to ask who the bowling attack for England was. And you still got to make them, but
You sure do, as that one's played into the offside for a single. 3 for 19 the score. But Nilo, I've got a quick question for you.
Okay.
Of the 355, what do you think is higher, the score or the crowd at the G? Do you think? There was some
I
shocking
think the
photos.
crowd just beat them, I think.
Just
Snuck in.
Might be the word we're looking for.
I think
there,
we've got more people watching us here than at the G today.
Not surprising, Nilo. It's because we're here, let's be honest. But,
because they're taking their cameras off us at last. It helped.
What's this cricket you're speaking of as we see around the wicket again? And that's another push. Geez, that's died off the pitch.
It has.
That's the first ball we've seen that's landed in front of the keeper. We've seen a couple of times they've been taken around chin height. But that had a bounce before getting to the keeper.
It sort of makes you think that he held it back a bit, but everything else about his bowling there and that delivery, it didn't look slower. It didn't look a slower delivery, so...
It was disguised beautifully. They didn't actually get a single from that delivery I said before. They're still 3 for 18. Come on, Daz. It's only Tuesday. If this is the way your week is going, we require better as we see this one played into the onside for a single. That's now 3 for 19 as we head into a couple of more balls in the 7th over.
Right, this becomes an interesting part
this
now.
Is the big show, you reckon, Nilo?
Well, he is, but you don't get him every week.
And Suss already were.
Suss is just wondering whether he's going to have a good innings tonight or not.
So still plenty to go. Looking forward to the end of this one.
And there goes off stump.
Well, the big show has just come to an end, and Suss has given us if he could.
Given it.
It could be bobblehead night here at Pearcedale, and it's only Suss for sale. My goodness, he wobbles it any harder. It's going to fall off, Nilo.
Look, it's like those guys in the NBA when they lob one from way out of the key, and they just run back. They run backwards with the hand, palms open. Sensational.
Definitely.
Great call though. One delivery, bang, got it.
Absolutely, it was a perfect delivery. 4 for 19 the score. Sullivan, the new man in.
Yep. He bowled pretty well, I thought, for Pearcedale.
Yeah, he did. But Balnaring's bowling at the moment is
sensational, and Gil Furness is looking very, very good. 4 for 19.
4 for 19. Can you believe it? Who would have thought they would do anything for 2 for 40 off 10 now?
They'd love to be that situation.
Big things happening. 102 off 79. That's really snuck up on us, Nilo, just how slow the start was. So Swainston gone first ball, and I don't even think he knows what he's walking into back in the pavilion at the moment. It's all happening here at Pearcedale Reserve. There's a hushed silence around Pearcedale Reserve at the moment, and it might not be fully for the cricket, Nilo. I'm going to be
not
honest.
Not completely, but I think there's a factor there.
Temperature might have dropped a little bit here, but we'll move on. All right, last ball, 7th over. 4 for 19 the score, and it's going to remain so as that's played to mid-on for no run. 4 for 19 the score. 7 overs gone.
My little then, Flinders, we said was 6 for 144 and had Sammy Gove score. I missed out that Yowie Mataje took 4 for 8. Not bad bowling. Baxter and Apply are 8 for 63.
My goodness.
So it does look like a win there, which the happiest team out of all that will be Somerville.
Absolutely, they will be.
Because they'll be clear on top. Clear on top, and
I might grow wings and fly home.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
They're going to keep going as well as that.
Yeah. So was it when you jumped on the bandwagon, or was it when we did that interview on the radio show for with Jason Nagel? Because he is coach of Somerville as well
true,
as you
yeah,
know
it's true, but I think
the big GM.
I did tip when we did the filming down at Bonio. I did tip them and said
You
that
did.
they were due. I'd seen some good signs without the results, and
Correct.
since then they've gone. I couldn't agree with you
Ballistic.
more, Dazzling, as we see the
Oh,
left-handed
here we go.
spinner.
Is it
That's
going
in
to
the air.
carry?
This is
No,
going to
it's
be
caught and
5.
bowled.
They're 5 down.
Wow. So he
The
worked
honk-
out the system. Don't have the. Don't try to beat the bat. And
No.
this guy's mishit. Bang,
Yep.
caught and bowled.
5 for 19. We're 43 balls
Wow.
into this innings. This is extraordinary at the moment. The crowd is silenced. The cars are honking. And 5 for 19.
Wow.
Well, this would be extraordinary. This would be extraordinary if they win from here. And let me tell you, there's only one man in Pearsdale right now that's happy at this result, and he's sitting in front of us. He told us that Pearsdale were gone. I didn't even think he could predict how gone they were, Nilo.
Oh, look.
This would be one of the greatest comebacks I've seen.
Yep.
5 for 19.
Tie over 2 for 46 of 8 overs, so they're well on the way as well.
They need 102 right now off 77, which doesn't sound like too great, but they're 5 down.
Yeah, that's the key part of it, isn't it?
Some lip going on behind us, Nilo. I would have thought the sledging would be kept to the cricket field, but we've got some locals telling us what they think. Not of us, of
Not
course,
of us,
because
no.
that would be all complimentary.
No, that's right. Oh,
Doing extraordinary work down here at Pearsdale.
yep.
It's good conviction there, Nilo.
There's
Really,
a
really like the confidence you took with that. We're doing extraordinary work. Yep.
Yep, well, we are. Well, you know, we've been doing it for so long that we just get used to it. Perhaps we shouldn't.
Still in my infancy, Nilo.
Not at all, Des.
And I've run out of stories so badly. I touched on board games. So that's
Oh,
where I'm at the moment.
Well, let's hope it's sunny this weekend and we don't have to dig too deep into the locker.
Of course, and then I'll have to have a couple of weeks off, Nilo, heading to Maui
Ooh,
overnight
wow.
with the beautiful, infamous Sam at this point.
Okay.
It's, for a bit of a wedding expo. Not her and I's wedding, just before AJ probably listens to this and then might give me some stick on Friday. No,
He will.
He definitely will, and he hit the winning runs for Tookarook too, by the way, so I'm not bringing it up.
Pretty
you
big
know I'm
six,
not.
a pretty big 6 not out, I believe.
It was, yeah, massive 6 not out, yeah.
Not a 6, but
No.
6 not out, yep.
So that one's just played into the turf for no run at the second ball of the 8th over.
This is Bock. Solid hitting batsman in his day. Hasn't made a lot of runs in the last year or two, but over the years has.
Suss has looked at me and he's just given me the
He
zero
doesn't
sign.
think he'll make a lot tonight.
No. Well, if he makes 3, Suss will still claim it's correct. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
He's
what
given
you're
himself 2 chances here,
Yeah,
which is
he has.
actually an extraordinary piece of cheating when it comes to predicting. But as we see another defensive stroke, we're still 5 for 19.
Yeah, half an appeal here from the producer.
As we see another
Bowling
defensive
well,
shot,
Warren.
and they're going to set off for a run. Suss is shattered. The prediction's gone. 5 for 20. My goodness, it's all happening. And after all that, it's a single.
Right, and pretty sure it was, unless he was wearing the wrong jumper, Sullivan, the other batsman there, but yeah, I think they might have mixed up
Sullivan
the
definitely.
batsman.
Yeah, Sullivan was definitely the top that was used, as that's plotted into mid-wicket for no run.
Which is also a good trick. I mean, if you don't make many and you wear somebody else's shirt,
Yeah,
you know.
true. Well, that happened at junior footy day one day, Nilo. Someone else got reported that was wearing the number 7.
Ooh.
Sorry, that was wearing the number 1, because I was wearing the number 7,
Yep.
and there was mud on it.
So
they
the
meant
1
to
and 7
report,
got confused.
Yeah, they meant to report me, and they reported me as number 1.
Ah.
Yeah.
How'd number 1 go at the tribunal?
Laughed out.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. Do I look even back then? Did he look 6 foot tall and playing full back? I wouldn't have thought so. Little Chris, his name was. He was 4 foot in GST, even at 14.
Okay.
Couldn't have been him. So 5 for 20 the score. 8 overs gone. 2.5 and over. That is the run rate at the moment. They still need 101. There's only 78 balls left. We're going to need to see some very, very early acceleration here.
They're going to have to get into it pretty soon.
Absolutely. Bock on 1, Sullivan on 0. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage thanks to Bendigo Bank. Of course, they make the match of the night possible. Our new business network partner, I should say, Telstra. And a massive shout out to the Mornington Peninsula News Group as well. As we see the beginning of the 9th over, left arm over the wicket to the right-hander, and that's just played off an inside edge that's just gone to the keeper for no run.
I reckon it was a good line to bowl. Bock cramped him up a bit there. Yeah.
So he's only 2 away here, Bock, from getting to Suss's second predicted score. But 5 for 20, we're going to need some runs. That is obvious. And that one's cramped in. That's outside the line of leg stump.
Yeah, only one appeal.
Suss appealed here too. I'm not sure why. It's
Two appeals, okay.
It's blatant favouritism at this point by Suss. He's just loving what Balnarring are doing at the moment. I can't say I blame him. It's been clinical. 5 for 20 off 50 balls. Extraordinary performance after being 1 for 17, I think you said, Nilo, after 5. As Bock defends to cover for no run.
And Jake Hewitt just watching on today, the coach. He's probably liking what he sees.
Admiring their work.
Yeah, liking what he sees. Mark Wallace also not playing, one of their better bats. But he's probably...
Their depth is looking all right, though.
That's right. So I think it's a good idea to give some of these guys a go and see what they can give
big
us.
Swing. Is that going to make it?
No, yeah, it has. Placed in the hole.
Yeah, there was an out-of-controlled shot almost.
Just about.
But Bock goes to 2, 5 for 21 the score. 2 balls left in the 9th.
Can Bock get past the 3?
Ooh,
the second part of the prediction.
If he does get out on 3, we might actually... There is a possibility that we... But there is a possibility we lose the live stream because Suss will jump up that quickly. Screens will fall out. Cables will get mixed up. That's a nice shot.
Yep.
Played to point, but no run there. 5 for 21, still the score. 1 ball left in the 9th. If there's no wide, of course. Last time I said that, Nilo, it was so far down leg, nearly missed a pitch.
Incorrect.
Nothing wrong with the jinx here, of course. Coming up during the week, we've got all aspects of sport, 4 to 6 p.m. on Friday. AJ and I will be talking all things sport on the peninsula as that's edged away for no run. That'll end the 9th. 5 for 21 the score. This is an extraordinary start by Balnarring. And then, of course, Saturday, Nilo, you'll be in the chair.
Yes, indeed. We haven't quite finalised all the people we'll have a chat to.
Sure, Vossi will give me a bit of stick about the Bulls, which will be fine.
He'll love that.
We've still got the second best record, Vossi, and the Bulls are still going nowhere. They're going to need
to
make a trade
Cup,
somewhere.
A little bit of World Cup chat as well.
England dominant, of course, 6-2 over Iran. Netherlands, I think, got the win as well, 2-0 over.
Yeah,
Denmark.
Seen they missed out previously, so they'll be keen to get back in.
France, Australia. If that's anything better for Australia than 4-0, I will be astounded.
Same here. They keep on talking about a few French injuries.
Yeah.
But I had a look at the actual 11 that are playing. I reckon they look good.
Yeah,
you can't tell. Yeah. You can't tell me that they've got a weak team.
Can almost win on his own.
Yeah, you can't tell me that they're a weak. You know, they may not have some of their preferred people, but you can't tell me that they're having a makeshift side by any stretch of the imagination. Have you picked a winner for
the World Cup yet, Neil? I'll get your answer after this delivery as we see the start of the 10th. The halfway mark, that's going to be a wide, so that's the start of nothing, actually, confirmed. But, Nilo, have you got a winner for the World Cup for us?
Without having seen all the teams just yet, haven't all played a game, but you'd think Argentina would be right up there, wouldn't you?
I think what a message that would be for Lionel Messi. It'll probably be his last tournament for Argentina, especially if they win.
Well, there's a fellow at Portugal probably going to play his last World Cup as well, Ronaldo.
He might not have a lot of soccer left in him overall, Ronaldo. That's in the air from Bock, but that's not going to get through. He's stuck on 2. Sullivan hasn't scored. 5 for 22 the score, although... No, not although. Continue on.
I was just going to say, if Ronaldo has a good tournament, I don't think Vossi would be very happy as a Manchester United man.
Yes.
Because he just couldn't get anything out of him for the Man U.
True. There's Bock. Big swing there.
That's looking promising.
That's going to get the single. No run. Oh, we want him.
A little bit frustrated with that shot. He didn't get it past the gap.
Sus wants him on 3. Yeah, I agree. Well, I'm a Chelsea supporter, Nilo, so I can't judge anyone in the EPL at the moment. After, of course, sacking our coach and Graham Potter came in and we went from 3rd to 8th. I don't think it's really
That's worked
Graham's
well.
fault.
And that's gone.
That's
He's
out.
walked, and then
He's got him for
Suss
2.
has got him for 2.
And Suss is somehow happy even though he got it wrong, but it's 6 for 22 and this is a disastrous batting performance by Pearcedale.
Overs left about
10 after this,
10
and there's
after
still
this,
99 to get.
99 to get, and they just got to have a crack. There's not much value in just hanging around for those 10 overs. You don't
not
gain
really.
anything from it.
Yeah, go all out for 50 if that's the plan.
If you can get to 50.
I'm just,
Yep.
all right, Nilo.
I'm with you.
Yeah, all right. Didn't sound like it originally, but I've got you now.
Ty at 4 for 67. Davidson 3 for 11 from Crib Point. 4 for 67, chasing 83.
Yep, they'll be right. And the Poms, none for 14 after 2.5 overs. They're off to a good start. Darwin Milan and Jason Roy opening the batting after Phil Salt was subbed out for concussion. He dived for a ball after a beautiful David Warner square drive, and he hit his face and his shoulder on the artificial turf on the other side of the boundary rope there, Nilo. It was not fun to watch, I'll be honest with you.
You mentioned David Milan. I spoke last Saturday morning to Ian Cobain, who's playing at Lang Warren, as we know, and he was in the new version of the 100, and he reckons it's a great game. Loved it, really enjoyed it. Other team members he had, Joe Root, David Milan, and there's a certain Rashid fellow.
Oh, Rashid Khan.
All on that side. Not a bad side. They had a win and undefeated. Notts, they played at Trent Bridge.
And who would have thought out of those 3 guys, Darwood Milan would be the only one with 100 in Australia?
Yes.
Given the cricket the other 2 have played. Extraordinary stuff. As we see, the first ball, that's an appeal, but it's not going to be out.
No.
Come on, Suss. I know you might want to go home early, our man, but it's actually got to be out. It's extraordinary stuff as we head towards the end of the 10th over.
And again, a guy square of the wickets did most of the appealing.
Yeah, it's extraordinary as long as he hits some I like the enthusiasm. There is a tribalism to this game after all, but come on, boys.
At the Scobel.
Out there and in trouble earlier. That's a big swing. That's closer, but not out again. Suss has nearly gotten out of his chair. If anyone's got some red pom-poms they'd like to loan us for the great man Suss at the moment, he's everything but the face paint at the moment he's got on for the great man. But the 1 ball to go, 6 for 22. I swear to you, I'm not making it up. 1 ball to go, 10th over, 99 still to win. That's flicked away, and they're going to get at least a couple. Suss looks shattered, but they'll come back for 2. They might get 3. No, they'll stick with 2. 6 for 24 after 10. We're going to go to a break. 97 to win, 60 balls left. This is Bendigo Bank's Match of the Day via RPPFM.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks. But there's another big bank snapping at their heels. It's been around for over 160 years, has 1.9 million customers nationwide who bank in branch, online or with their mobile app, and is regularly voted one of Australia's most trusted brands. Who is this bank that has everyone's attention? Welcome to Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
And welcome back to Pearcedale Reserve, 6 for 24.
Got a couple of
scores. Go
results,
for
yes, mate. So Flinders had 6 for 144. Baxter after there, 20 overs, 8 for 89. So a comfortable win to Flinders. Red Hill Sorrento looks like a pretty good battle. Red Hill 2 for 61 after 10. Sorrento posted 1 for 5.
Beautiful. Thank you, Nilo. So the second block of 10 overs, Pearcedale 6 for 24. Extraordinary. 97 off 60. That equation is clear. How they're going to get out of this hole is not. Shots like that are going to help through the offside. He's beaten the man at backward point. And they've come back for 2. And a beautiful throw in from the deep. 6 for 26 the score. I've just stitched up that little kid there. I'm so sorry, mate. It's just rolled out the front of the car, I think. My bad. Absolute stitcher there.
Oh,
I saved
sugar.
you, Nilo, from getting knocked over.
I
And I've
know.
just
And
nearly
got-
chucked
kicked
it in the water for the poor
kicked
lad. I
kid's ball
apologise,
away.
bud. My goodness. 6 for 26. The things we do to help each other here at RPP, Nilo.
Look, he's all right. No, he's
all right,
smiling.
yeah.
He's smiling.
Absolutely. He missed the water. I think that's why he's happy.
Might get in trouble with Mum.
No, I hope not. He can happily throw me under the bus there as we
Ooh.
see this one squaring up the batsman to short cover. No run. 6 for 26, still the score. And of course, we'll bring you the Bendigo Bank match of the day, Saturday, Nilo. Live, 2-day cricket.
Oh, this is good.
He'll guilty. Rob Cowan will be alongside us, we hope.
Rob should be right this Saturday. Yeah.
Should be. Discuss all things
Oh.
baseball. That's gotten past the man at backward point once again. It'll be streaming down towards the boundary.
Just pulled up in front of it.
It sure
Couple
has. They'll
runs.
get a couple. 6 for 28, the score in the 11th over. So it is looking more and more unlikely that they're going to get the runs, Nilo.
Yes, indeed.
But I do like the aggression. Balnarring have got to stick to their plans. Couple of catchable height shots there. One of them will go to hand at some point. Maybe bring those fielders in a touch closer together and a touch closer to the wicket. That's going to be a
Down leg
wide down
side.
the leg side. The runs are flowing here at Pearcedale Reserve. 6 for 29.
Very, very wide.
Still in the 11th over. It's actually good work by the wicketkeeper there, considering the skittishness of this pitch.
Yeah, he did very well. No question about that.
As we see this one wide, and that's going to be called a wide again. So 2 consecutive wides there, 6 for 30.
I was just about to compliment this bowl. I thought it was seeing how, but he was better from this end than he is in the far end there.
And I know that it's not footy season yet, but the draft coming, this is extraordinary. Melbourne have offered 2 future first rounders to get into the top 5, but Gold Coast, Essendon and North have both turned them down.
Wow.
Have all turned them down. So Melbourne currently with pick 13, but that is an extraordinary shot for 4. The run's flowing here at
Good shot.
Pearcedale Reserve. 6 for 34 the score. So Melbourne have got their eyes on someone in the top 5. I'm struggling to think who that might be with Aaron Cadman off the board. They don't need another midfielder. Maybe Harry Sheasel for some forward half threat there. But, yeah, interesting. But Gold Coast sticking strong. I think they want Bailey Humphrey there. So a good call by the Suns as they see the batsman squared up on this occasion. That'll end the 11th over, it would seem. 6 for 34 the score. 9 overs to come, that being 54 balls, and we've still got 87 for a Pearcedale victory.
Yeah, which is looking less and less likely as the overs tick along.
Of course, the last thing on the footy calendar, Nilo, the AFL draft coming up on Monday and Tuesday, the 2-nighter. But,
AFLW final coming up
yeah,
at Springfield.
Yep, absolutely, it will. The jokes write themselves there.
Yeah, they
in
do
terms
find
of the
themselves.
Simpsons.
Yeah,
But the sellout under 3 hours, I should say, which is a fantastic result
Great
for
effort.
the AFLW. Adelaide and Brisbane, what a rivalry that's been. They've played in a grand final already. Brisbane upsetting the Crows on that day as that one's played through mid-on. That's going to be a run as the man at deep mid-wicket comes around. So these two are going okay at the moment.
Yep.
6 for 35 the score. Still plenty to go. I'm not suggesting by any means that they are necessarily back in the game, but they've consolidated okay, better than other partnerships, Nilo.
Yeah, and they just have to find a way of accelerating if it's going to become at all interesting, really, in the run chase. But yeah, they've done all right so far. Looked reasonably comfortable.
Yeah, I think they
So
have.
Williams wearing the number 33 Sullivan shirt.
Yeah, interesting. I like it. I've got a question for Suss here too,
Ooh,
actually.
He's
At
ready.
the end of this delivery regarding that Melbourne trade package, and then we'll move off the footy.
He'd
As
be
we
on the
see-
board at
Well, he's the
Melbourne this
president
year,
of
won't he?
everything. I'm
Yeah,
surprised
gotta
he's
be
not the
there.
CEO
He's got to
now.
be there.
But so Suss, if you're giving away 2 future firsts to get up in the draft, I reckon the Hawks after the Gold Coast pick, would you look at pick 6 from the Hawks if they think their man's still there? Next year's draft expected to be a bumper. We know the Hawks need picks, my boys, as that's played under the onside to the man at mid-on. for no run. Do you think two future first rounders is a good move by the D's? Sus. He's given me the nod of approval, so if someone wants it, they can do it. Of course, you've got Fremantle's first round pick next year due to the Luke Jackson trade, so we suspect those two picks will be in the teens. So it's not too much to give away at the end of the day. Mr. Taylor. Who's Mr. Taylor? Why not? I would love to.
Yeah, and we don't mind having any of those on the RPP sports shows.
Absolutely. As we see,
if he's a winemaker, he can come onto the wine show on Thursdays.
Played into the offside for a single. I'm not going to lie to you, Nilo. When you first told me about the wine show, I didn't actually think it was about the beverage. I just thought you got to complain on the radio.
The Whinge show.
And you know what?
We'd have Vossi on.
I'm down. I'm down for that. If someone out there wants to give me an hour where I can complain about the world,
Vossi's
I'll sign up so quickly.
Yeah.
It's not funny. Article 1.
They had that grumpy old man show on at one stage. You'd have been right at home with that one, Dash, you think?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Article 1, Battleship is bingo for children.
Yep.
I'm still not over it, Nilo.
No.
It's not happening, but we're 6 for 35 on 12.
And then when your old man gave you a run out when you were 49.
Yeah. Cost me a junior best and fairest in the 42, my old man too, by the way.
Yeah,
he had this ethical belief that you couldn't vote for your own kids, right? Which would be great until it's a tie in the last game of the year and your son kicks 6. I reckon that might be an exception.
Is this when you were fullback? You weren't fullback at the time?
No, it wasn't that day.
Right.
No, we weren't playing finals that year, Nilo, so threw me forward in an attempt to get something going, and boy, did I. And no, he still stuck to his ethics, my old man, and not only did he not give me a vote, he gave the kid that beat me one. That was it. So if he's listening out there, Daz Senior,
his ears are burning if he's not.
Might need to jump in that brand new RV he's got to travel the country. I'd be looking for a taxidermist, if I'm being honest.
Red Hill 3 for 70, Dart out for 21. That's off 13. So they now need 75 from 7.
Ooh, they're tough.
It's getting real tough.
Just about.
Tybe 5 for 71. Brad Davidson has 4 for 15, but I think he's running out of overs there. And of course, Crib Point at Chase, they had 83 on the board, Crib Point, so 5 for 71. Probably Tybe's still going to get there, you'd think, but so. Well bowled, Davo.
Yep, couple of swats outside off stump for no run. Half an appeal for the first one, but definitely no nick there. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage throughout. We've covered just about everything, Sus, on and off the cricket field. Brett Ratton back to Carlton. Is that confirmed, is it? That's what you're hearing. Brett Ratton back to Carlton, okay.
Any time he was successful, wasn't he? His assistant at Hawthorn.
Yes.
He should. That's what I'm saying. He should go back to Hawthorn.
Well, we have lost a few, of course. Robert Harvey went back to St Kilda, the trader. I mean, the man. Sorry.
He's sort of like Mr.
Yeah. He only won 2 Brownlows at the Saints. That's enough.
That's right.
That's been flicked beautifully in the gap. That's 4. No, that's 4. That's definitely 4. It's a great sop.
Oh, in fact, the fella behind him has called it.
Yeah, great sportsmanship down there. 6 for 40. There. Scoble goes to 7. Williams is on 8. A great dive. I'm not giving anything away from the dive.
And you can't criticise him because, I mean, he's watching the ball. He doesn't know where the line is because there isn't a line. It's just a markers.
Yep, unless he's spooning the boundary cone, Nilo. He's probably unaware. So
correct.
Give him credit for that. That's a big swat outside the off stump. No run. 6 for 40 after 13.
Okay.
Is the end of the over. So 42 balls to go.
80 off 7.
81. Yep.
Not going to get there. Can't see.
Oh, you can't jump on now. Sus told us this 8 overs ago.
The lights are on. Oh.
This is a one-man bandwagon he's called.
You're not allowed to join it.
No.
Okay.
No,
that's fair enough.
Yeah, he's a man about his own time, Sus, I think.
They've got the lights on, which is probably a good thing. Oh, hello. The keeper's way back. I don't know what thinking here is. They're going to... You could get a run while the ball's getting through to the keeper.
Yep.
Almost get back for 2.
Just about, nearly. Spot on. 6 for 40 the score, as we see the batsman squared up and played nicely. I'm not saying this because I want the game to end or anything, Nilo, but someone needs to explain the logic of defending the ball
hanging around
when you're 6 for 40 with 7 overs left. This is where you swing, my friend.
There's nothing to be gained because it's already obvious that they're not going to end up top of this division, so they might as well just have a bit of a dash, have a bit of a swat. Why not? Oh, he got that one away for 1. Keeper chasing it.
Yep, they'll pick up a single. Oh, they're coming back for 2. And gone. Has to be out.
Yep.
And he is 7 for... Well, they're not hanging around near low.
No,
7 for
good.
41 the score.
So they've listened to your advice, Daz.
The direct line to the ground. I inherited it from AJ for footy season. But 7 for 41 the score. This one not far off being done. It hasn't been the run chase we were looking for, if we're being honest.
No. We'll have most of the results in. I would think by the end of play.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there, Nilo.
Tybe 5 for 85, so that's a win for Tybe.
So 7 for 41 the score. We've still got 41 balls left in this one. 41 balls left. They're on 41, Nilo.
Red Hill 4 for 85 or 15, so they've got a run rate required of 12.2. Can't see them getting that either.
No, I'm with you. So it's been a coolish evening here at Pearcedale Reserve. The day's not done, by no means, but the impossibility is rising. 80 off 41. So 12 and over, essentially, with the dot in between. As we see this one left alone. Why are we leaving the ball, gentlemen, in this scenario? Someone explain it to me. Okay.
Confirming Rosebud have had a win, so this is the only game still going.
Undefeated, yep.
They're undefeated.
Saving the best till last, Nilo. It's because we're here. RPP, of course, as that one's just driven back to the bowler through their hands. They're not going to get a run. That really would be silly.
So the end of today's play, we're going to find that the undefeated side is Somerville, and the undefeated side in the south is Rosebud. So they're the two. Rye still alive, but Somerville looking very, very strong in the T20 competition. Rosebud one win away from securing it. If they miss out in their game against Red Hill, then Rye could probably get there, because Rye will play Main Ridge next Tuesday night.
They sure will. So the lights are on here at Pearcedale Reserve. That's in the air. Catching opportunity, not really. It's in plenty of space, but they're not going to get 4. They'll come back for 2. Tell you what, no, they don't. Fantastic piece of work in the field.
So the batsman out of Scoble Carboni. Isn't he a lawyer? Isn't a TV lawyer? Carboni?
Carbone? Yeah, it's the name sounds familiar.
We try and get him to sponsor the sports network. Malvern, he's the man. All right.
I feel like Kangaroo Jack might have the name Carbone in it.
Kangaroo.
It does. There you go. I don't know where that core memories come from, but it's there.
Okay.
My goodness.
Last couple of overs.
That's extraordinary. By me, if I don't mind saying so myself. Well, it's not a good movie either, Sus. I think that's the thing we need to roll with here.
And of course, the game did start a little late today, which otherwise you'd just about be wrapping it up now. 5 overs, that extra 15 minutes probably has made the difference there. Lights are on.
Rain's coming in, says Sus. The darkness coming in as well, and we're not here for defensive shots.
There we go. Player shot.
7 for 42, the score.
3 boundary riders out on the leg side.
And there's only 35 balls left. I've genuinely never seen, Nilo, where there's been less balls to go than runs on the board this late in an innings.
Correct.
It's extraordinary.
It is.
Probably, maybe after the 12th over marker. Not many T20 sides are 48 after 12, which is how that math would work, but...
So the winners in the other game, Somerville over Miraduc, Flinders over Baxter, Tybe over Crib Point, Rye over Bonio, Sorrento look like they're going to wrap up Red Hill, Rosebud over Dramana, and this game is of course still going here in Balnarring, looking very, very good with only a couple of overs to go.
Yeah, only the 34 balls.
80 off 34. So it was only just a short time ago that Pete was telling us 2 runs a ball. It's beyond that even now. Defended.
None of this defence. I'm sorry. At this point in time, defence is the only thing stopping us from being on the field. That's the only defence here.
Or back on the road home.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the other way.
Defence. It's defence. That's it.
Yep.
Go the slog, son. Your batting average doesn't mean much when your top order's just flown like Skittles. That's down the leg side. Bit of an appeal.
Hoping that the umpire Gags Gallagher was
hoping he was in a rush to get home, Neil.
Correct. Hoping for that appeal. Wasn't out. Wasn't anywhere near out. But
sometimes you're asking the umpire, how's that? I think they were asking, are you up to much later? And if the answer was yes,
Gags, one of the top 3. He's not going to fall for that.
No, I don't think he does. I don't think he will.
That's
I should
a
say.
better one.
That's. I'm not sure what the better part was, Nilo.
It was a shot and a backlift.
A shot and a the bar here at Pearstyle Reserve is just getting higher and higher. Let me tell you. But there is going to be 30 deliveries after this, and there's only 42 on the board. So the result is done. I promise you. That's nice and full,
out.
and that's
leg
out.
Stump.
Yep.
Leg stump.
That's hitting the leg. There's not far to go now. 8 for 42, Pearstyle. That'll be the end of the 15th. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with RPPFM's Match of the Day. Thank you to Bendigo Bank. Balnarring are just about home.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks. But there's another big bank snapping at their heels. It's been around for over 160 years, has 1.9 million customers nationwide who bank in branch, online or with their mobile app, and is regularly voted one of Australia's most trusted brands. Who is this bank that has everyone's attention? Welcome to Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
And welcome back to Pearstyle Reserve. 8 for 42, I should say. Is the score at the moment. Yep, 5 overs. 5 overs to come. So, Nilo, the only prediction now...
Yes.
Do they bat the overs out? Do they get there? Do they get there to the 20th over? Not to the score, but is it going to be an early finish?
I'm going to go with yes. Because it will be early.
Yeah, I'm
Pete's
like
saying they're going to dig in.
Yeah,
they're going to dig in.
The only reason I'm saying yes is because they're defending. What's this nonsense? So Shepherd will join Scoble, who's on 7.
So that last guy had been defending a bit, then deceived by a really good delivery, which a little bit of wobble, dipped in, took the leg stump. I think the bowlers will be keen to work him out.
Yeah, spot on, Neil.
Bit more slow stuff coming on, which is good. That's the way to do it. Got 3 blokes deep out here on the leg side. Standard mid on, standard mid off. A short cover, a normal cover, a point, and a third slip gully position. No, he's picked it up, grabbed it quickly.
Yeah, spot on, Nilo. So not far to go in this one.
He'll be pushing through.
He definitely will be. To that, I have no doubt.
Oh, short. Didn't mean to make it that short or that wide. I think it sort of stuck in his hand a little bit there, and left alone by the batsman.
Yeah, left alone is a good summation.
Oh, he's hit that one. Maybe he's trying to give him something
There's
to
a
have
wicket
crack
coming.
at.
There's a wicket coming.
You can
There's
see it.
just going to be,
Yeah, you can see it. He's
there's
sort
just going to overcorrect. There's going to be a smack.
Yeah.
Whoever's at mid-off here needs to be prepared for a catch.
Yeah, or unless he really he
deep
might really
mid-wicket.
get on and get it deep, yeah.
True. That's...
Ooh,
Oh, nice
no, too full.
Get a single.
He's doing much better with the shorter ones.
Yeah,
gives
absolutely.
him something to have a crack at.
The Mark Tubby Taylor 2 bouncer. You
Yeah.
dismiss the Pakistan batsman.
It's amazing how often the blokes 9, 10, 11 can't play shots. So if you give them some rubbish, they make a meal of it.
Yeah, they sure do, Nilo.
Ooh.
Oh, there it was. It was almost there.
Yeah,
8 for 43. 25 balls left.
I reckon that one was going there towards mid-wicket, as you suggested, Daz, but
It was.
he
I was so
he didn't
right.
get there,
And I had to
apart from the bit that he missed it.
I had to rely on the batsman doing
something.
what they should be doing,
Hitting
which
the
is
ball.
hitting the thing.
Yeah.
Not happening on this occasion. So the last ball, the 16th. Well, we can't say this over's been boring by any stretch.
He's going to go for a double bouncer.
I'm going wicket. This is going airborne. I'm just not sure where it's going to land. It could land anywhere. It could land on my roof, this ball. As we see, it's tossed up. Oh, he wanted to.
Oh, you thought about it.
He wanted to, but that'll end the 16th over. It's 8 for 43. Not long to go in this one. We hope you've enjoyed so far and continue to enjoy the remainder of the coverage. Of course, RPPFM's Match of the Day brought to you by Bendigo Bank with new business network partner Telstra. A huge shout out to the Mornington Peninsula News Group. And if you want to be a part of our sports business network here at RPPFM, you can visit info@rppfm.com.au for more information. Packages starting from just $20 a month, and we can plaster your business all over RPP. And we've had a bit of a slip. It's funny to everyone but the bowler in that scenario, but we'll start again.
Red Hill require 14.6 and over.
My goodness, that's going to be unlikely. Now, the only thing you don't want as a bowler is to slip twice.
Yep.
And victory on that front, but it's wide, and it's going to be a wide. Don't do it. Oh, it's a no ball.
No ball. Is that wide actually hit the grass? If it's grass here on these pitches, it's a no ball, not a wide.
Absolutely. So I don't know. I think that our main umpire Adrian Gallagher might need more plans. Actually,
he's too honest
on a Tuesday night. As we see the free hit, I think down the leg side they'll get a single.
Yep.
8 for 44 the score.
I thought their idea of having a slowie, just tossing some stuff up, was the best chance of getting wickets. So maybe this bloke just slowed a little, a bit more in the air. Chance of getting a miss hit.
So it's a nice shot that's been reined in beautifully.
Yeah.
And they're coming back
Two in it.
for a couple. 8 for 47 the score will go to now. So there is only 21 balls to go, 22 even. I misread the no ball there.
And as the lights get very bright.
They do. I'm going to be honest with you, Nilo. The natural light fading's not doing fantastically for Dazzling's eyes at the moment, but that's a big swing.
And it's a catch.
Is it going to be? It is.
Held on to there.
There's the 9 for 47.
But that was better because
There's a bit of extra pace in that one, Nilo. Hurried the batsman a touch.
Yep. But it also gave him something that he could play a shot at.
Yes.
And that got the wicket.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Down to 9 down.
So, Jacksters is the name on the back of the jumper.
And the scoreboard agrees.
Oh, just call us a 90s boy band, Nilo. We're in sync, let me tell you. Suss has given me nothing there. That's one of my best of the night, and he's just given me absolute donuts. In fact, I'd take donuts over what he's given me there. But one more wicket to go. 21 balls left. 9 for 47 the score.
But you're wise, Daz. You didn't save that. Wasn't like that was your best one, and you saved it for last. There was nothing like that.
Yeah, when you're 9 for 47, you just got to keep something in the bank. I
That's
reckon.
right. Yeah.
You're not rolling out the quality at none for 26. Let me tell you. the smattering of applause. I fancy the...
A ripple.
I'll tell you what's surprising me, Nilo.
Yeah.
No Pearcedale top order batsmen have gone into the nets to actually understand what ball on bat is. That's interesting. It's a bold strategy. None of them really spending a lot of time in the middle. Scoble's probably spent the longest out there from memory.
Right. Yeah, he's
but no one in double digits yet. So I hope he gets there before we depart for the evening. No one in double digits. It's been an extraordinary bowling effort from Balnarring. And to think they were 2 for 40 after 10, and we thought they were in trouble.
Ooh,
never in doubt, as that's beautifully bowled, beautifully defended. Some good cricket there.
I'd still be going something slower and
force
it. Yeah.
I know mid-on, I've talked to a bit. I'd be coming up, son.
Yeah, I don't think long on can be reached from there. He's got to come in a little.
As we see another defensive shot, but that will finish. No, it won't. I know how to count. 19 balls left, 1 wicket to go. What's going to happen first? I'm not sure. There's a beautiful little sunset that's just appearing to our right, Nilo.
It is glorious.
To our east. But the darkness is encroaching.
Ooh,
that's an
big appeal, but
Adrian Gallagher wants to stick around for reasons I'm not quite sure of, but 9 for 48 the score.
Leg by.
Leg by given, so definitely
so there you go, no bat. No bat.
Yeah. From our man, which is interesting. The Palms, I'll just update you, 8.5 overs in, 1 for 41. Josh Hazelwood, the wicket taker. Darwood Milan nicking behind for 2.
Right.
My man Josh Hazelwood, the Hoff, of course, from country New South Wales. Captained the second ODI as well.
Yeah,
which I thought was interesting.
Good to see.
Not often your captain misses 2 ODIs in a row, technically, Nilo, because Josh Hazelwood missed the first one.
Yep.
And then he became captain, and Pat Cummins was the captain in the first and missed the second.
Yep.
It's a bit of a different way of operating, I think. But the last ball,
here we go.
First ball, the 18th.
Way down leg side, got to be wide.
So we're getting more deliveries in, Nilo.
Yeah. But I like the chances of this bloke getting a wicket.
Yeah, what he's calling it.
But he's got to hit the right, roughly in the right spot, rather than outside leg. It's not going to help him.
Not going to lie to you, Nilo. I'm starting to think of the beautiful lamb koftas I'm going to make when I get home.
Wow. What are you having them about 10 o'clock tonight?
Ooh,
that's out. See you later.
Has to be. Ooh. Oh, Adrian, what are you doing, son?
Height maybe been the question.
Adrian,
let's
get on the phone. We need to have a chat. We need to have a chat. There's a conversation that needs to happen.
No, he's...
But no, I've got the kofta mixture ready at home, Nilo.
Oh, nice.
Yep, absolutely. Some beautiful...
Yeah, height. Definitely height on the replay. We had a look.
When it's 9 for 50, that's smacking leg.
Oh, leg side again. Come on, mate. Hit your line right.
What are we doing?
He's bowled one on the stumps and almost got a bloke out, and then the other 2 have been down leg side. That's just...
That's got some real 9 for 50 all over it, Nilo.
Yeah,
I think.
that's right. But they've got the 50. We probably didn't mention that.
Yeah, we did say Balnarring were testing their depth. We didn't think they'd be testing their bowling depth. Quite like this. And that's going to be another wide.
Wow, come on. Yep, good call.
I think this is just the world's way of telling me maybe just get Macca's on the way home dazzling, I think.
Save the koftas for tomorrow, for another night.
Save the koftas for Wednesday.
Yeah.
I think. But we'll see how we go. I've got some confidence in this delivery. Beautiful defensive shot. Another appeal.
Oh, he's out.
Oh, he's got him! Game over. All out. 53.
You can't complain about height on that one.
Absolutely not. So that's going to be a 67-run victory for Balnarring. They scored 7 for 120. Pearcedale in response. All out 53. Nilo, it was a dominant performance by the boys in red, who pretty much had it under control after the 10th over when they got going.
Oh, they did. Yeah, a slow start, 40 off the first 10. From then, their batting really picked up, and their bowlers hung on to it all the way through. Their fielding was tidy, a couple of nice catches, starting with the very first ball of the innings. And Pearcedale just weren't in the game, really, and they'd be a bit disappointed with that. But Balnarring have done well. They almost could end up second in this division, but a fair way behind Somerville.
Mm-hmm.
So Somerville and Rosebud will be the two sides leading these divisions at the moment. Rye still in the battle, especially if they defeat Mainridge next week.
Well, Nilo, it's been a pleasure. Sus, you've done beautiful work behind the scenes and always. And to all the viewers and listeners, thank you very much. You can catch all aspects of sport from 4 to 6 p.m. on Friday. Nilo will be in the chair in the RPPFM studio Saturday morning, and then we will be at the two-day cricket on Saturday. It's going to be a beauty with the announcement of the game coming on Friday.
Correct.
Hope you enjoy your evening. I'm off to enjoy some beautiful lamb kofters from here, and we'll catch you next time. This is the RPPFM's Match of the Night, brought to you by Bendigo Bank.